Good
Yeah,
evening, everybody, and welcome to the Sultans of Shadilay for the 25th of June 2022. I am joined, as always, by Discordia,
hello.
and because Trim is a dirty, dirty traitor, we are
Indeed.
joined by special guest Ardent Party who is having gentle technical difficulties.
Yeah, that's one way to put it. I like to say that I'm boomering my way through life as it goes.
Yes. Uh,
No bleach this week.
yes, because he's also being gay and pretending to have a social life. Basically, they're both off butt fucking each other in somewhere in Scandinavia.
I see. Well,
Yes, so because Trim's not here, we needed to traumatize somebody with non-SWAT.
I see.
there's
And
nothing
Monkey was smart enough to run away when oh, Monkey might drop in.
Yes.
Let's say the whole point of this was just to sabotage my live stream.
But we'll still get to traumatized chat, you know. They show up every week for some reason to be traumatized.
Yes, so who do we have in chat? We have all the good boys. We have Callum Dayton, Prime Knight, Ardent Party's in there, as usual. Student of History,
Not a good boy.
Garbwire, Discordia, who's being rude.
Oh, I'm sorry. Did I point out that you were being late and gay?
Lies. It's lies and slander.
You were both late and gay, Basic.
I was not.
You can't prove me wrong.
You say this, but I have recordings on. Oh dear. Okay. So, we are, in theory, simulcasting to Odyssey. If time prevails, we will, once we get finished with everything that's pre-planned for YouTube, transition over to Odyssey for all the things that Susan does not like.
And then white pills with disco.
Yes.
So,
White pills with disco
Let me
where
see after
Bezic doesn't
party,
have to
better
do
not go
any
on.
work. So, we have a lot today which we will try and power through. Fortunately,
well, in that case, my white pills might start while you're still blackpilling, Basic.
fortunately, the usual distraction is not here.
This is true.
Wait, so am I the unusual distraction today?
Yes.
Trim the tangent.
How's my audio, by the way? Is it terrible or what?
It's better. It's not got quite as much of a background hum now as it did before.
Okay, yeah, it's probably because I'm just speaking up a little bit.
Yeah.
Oh, look who's come crawling into chat. It's Monkey. White pills with disco, huh? Yes. Yes, it is.
And you better not forget about it this week, Monkey.
Okay, so, if anyone is joining us from Ardent Party's channel, Sultans of Shadilay is, well, while we approve of the family, the content is not family friendly.
I did warn my subs about that this morning.
Yes. Like, we don't want to have to... Okay, that's a lie. I enjoy traumatizing people.
But not children.
Yes, sadly, we will talk about how the left is traumatizing children. So, yes, parental guidance is recommended, and don't bring your young children here, because they will be traumatized, but it's not our fault.
It's just like, I didn't do it.
So, how about we start with a quick introduction from Ardent's body, who is a YouTuber and getter star.
Well, I think star is a little extreme. I did have really good news when I woke up this morning, though. I went to bed with 297 followers on Getter and woke up with 308. That is the single biggest jump in one day I've ever had. So that's definitely cause for celebration. And on YouTube now I have 45 subscribers as well. So small, but getting there. Not bad for 6 months, I think.
Yeah, I don't know what went on with Gary yesterday because just this last week. My work account has just gone nuts with followers, and I'm like, I don't post on it. I keep forgetting it exists. So there must have been some kind of mass sign up to get her maybe over the last week or so.
I suspect what's happened is a lot of people have had the same situation happen to them that I had with Twitter. I had, when the whole Elon thing first started, I had actually started using my Twitter account for something more than just posting links to my content.
Mm.
But as uh, as time went on, Twitter started to revert back to where it was, and I ended up last weekend just deleting my account live on my stream because I couldn't even make a bit of a joke, and someone had gone back, and this was 3 days later, gone back and pulled it. So I know very well it wasn't a bot that caught it. And I just I've had enough of the cesspool that is Twitter. Like Deadpool says, Twitter is where the devil goes to make boom boom.
Mm-hmm. That's true. So, let's get into it. So, first things first. Happy birthday, you beautiful bastard Clarence Thomas.
Yes, very much. And thank you for giving everybody else a present or two, mostly in the form of salt.
Yes, he's been dishing the salt out in never before seen, well, not never before seen, but in unprecedented levels. We have seen this much salt before.
Yes, as per the title of the stream, Supreme Court 2, Dems 0.
I remember actually watching his confirmation hearings on TV when I was a kid, and uh, I remember thinking then of having a bad opinion of him, but I think that really just reflects how much media bias was present then.
Indeed. Look at that dirty, dirty white supremacist.
I know.
So supremacist. He thinks he's supreme sitting there on his Supreme Court with his white power.
Is that the argument that some of them were trying to make, that this is white supremacy?
Oh, I'm sure they will eventually, but I think they're too busy crying about not being able to murder babies.
Maybe, because, like, a hell of a lot of black babies are reported too. You think they'd be like, well, no, if it was a white supremacist argument, they'd be like, you can keep aborting those babies, but not those babies.
Actually, weren't some leftists carrying on about that, where it's like, I swear I saw that somewhere, where they were whining that, it was in Callum's Great Replacement thing, where they were like, if we were trying to replace everybody, we'd... Where is it? Something about that. Just need to... Where on earth is it?
Okay, so I've changed one of the settings on my sound. Is that any better?
A little bit.
Okay.
Just seeing if I can find that reference that they were talking about. Sadly, the internet is fun.
Oh.
Okay, let's
Oh.
try.
Wait. Has there been a mass shooting in Hurdy-Gurdy land?
Yes, there has been a mass shooting in Hurdy-Gurdy land. Speaking of the pendulum disco, it does appear that they have targeted a group of gays be out of reprisals. That or they were Muslim.
I'm reading
Well,
Yeah, I'm reading that the suspect is Norwegian of Iranian descent. So I'm guessing probably the latter.
Norway student history. Right, so, yes. This is the article that Callum was talking about from the New York Times, so May 30th. So, to the editor, the proof that liberal elites do not want to replace whites with non-whites is that progressives are pro-choice on abortion. The abortion rates for black women are several times higher than for whites. Minorities are far more likely to vote for Democrats. For decades, abortions have been disproportionately deprived the Democratic Party of millions of potential black voters. That's right, we've been murdering black babies, and we should stop doing that because it's helping the conservatives.
Maybe just stop in general.
Yes.
Okay, so I changed one more setting and I'm on a different microphone. How am I sounding?
Much better.
Yes,
Thank
sounding
you.
very good
Excellent.
now. So, yes, much salt to be had. So, let's have a look. So, from Breitbart. Supreme Court overrules Roe v. Wade in Dobbs decision. Returns abortion to state lawmakers. Yes, that's right. And what the left is intentionally ignoring is they're not banning abortion. They're returning it to the state lawmakers. Some of the states have immediately banned it, but
yeah, this is the thing that I've been saying. Like even on Facebook, like people who are not normally particularly politically active, and like even one of I guess my acquaintances, they're not really a friend, but they were like, immediately they put out a post and they were like, abortion's being banned, like you won't even be able to get one if you medically need it, you'll just be left to die. And it's like that's actual misinformation, like that's just wrong. And then people are in her comments and they're saying no, it's just been returned to the state level, you'll still be able to get one if you need one. In fact, I don't even think there's all that many restrictions in your state. And then immediately the goalposts move and she's like, yeah, but in some states it might be banned. And it's like, okay, well, that's the people who are in those states will vote for what the people who are implementing what they want. Surely it's easier to change at the state level than it would be to change at the federal level.
Which is kind of the point of this decision.
You could bring in lawmakers who will implement the laws that the local people want. It seems to be, no, like even if it doesn't change where I am, I want to control other people's laws.
Yeah.
Seems to be the takeaway from this.
That's right. California can bring in a law where you can have abortion up to 2 years after birth, and Texas can go fuck you.
Yeah, it's almost like they want to say, well, we want to control the laws in Texas. And the people in Texas, for the most part, going, well, we don't want everybody aborting babies everywhere. We want to keep it, safe, legal, and rare. And the screeching leftists are going, well, we don't want you to have it as safe, legal, and rare. We want abortions for everybody.
I was actually doing a little bit of quick research last night for a comment I wanted to make on Razor Fist's video about the SCOTUS decision. And just looking at the numbers of abortions that have been performed and just doing a very quick, very rough, very conservative estimate, it looks like the population of Canada has been aborted in the U.S. between 73 and 2019.
Bloody hell.
Insane.
Yes, and you were directly on it, Disco, about them wanting to control things in Texas, and Student History agrees that they want the top and most populated cities to run literally everything else. Yes, which is exactly what the federalist system is designed to prevent.
Yeah, and the Supreme Court here is saying, well, no, they should be able to make this decision for themselves in each state, depending on, what the beliefs of the local people are.
Yes, because maybe
But
just
maybe we want to decide for you.
Yeah.
We want this decision.
Maybe just maybe a bunch of pedophiles in Los Angeles shouldn't have any impact on what Texas and Florida do.
Yep, as you can still get your goddamn, abortion loyalty card in California, and that's probably not going to change. But
No.
maybe the rest of the the country don't actually want that.
Yes, and they're sitting there screeching, "My body, my choice." Well, you can still get your abortion. You can just need to go to California. That's right. No one's forcing you to have a baby. You just can't have your abortion in this state. Maybe you should go to a state that allows it. You know, like what you were saying to people who didn't want your forced medical procedures.
Yep. And this whole idea as well, like the other thing that they keep coming up with is like we're being forced to have babies. It's like, I'm sorry, but nobody is strapping you to a fucking table and inseminating you. Like, if you don't want to reproduce, then maybe, you know, have some fucking some common sense and use some contraception if you're gonna sleep around.
Oh, that's absolutely horrible, Disco. How dare you take away their bodily autonomy and freedom of choice?
Yes.
You know, their choice to be a dirty hoe, their choice to not use any contraception. Like, there are so many options for contraception.
Yes. I would like to refer everyone back to Carl's rants from Friday. Maybe if you're so worried about you're needing an abortion, you should stop fucking. Stop fucking men you aren't willing to have a baby with. Like, I'm sorry if you're...
you know, take responsibility for your actions. It's... What did you think was going to happen if you kept sleeping around with no protection? Like, you were going to get pregnant. It's like, oh, now you're forcing me to go to have a baby. It's like, no, you already did that part.
Yes. It's like one of the easiest things for a woman to do. Like, for most of you, whores probably just laid there and didn't even contribute to the effort.
You know, and it made me laugh because one of them was posting on Twitter, I think last night, was like, you know, congratulations to all the men who are about to become unwilling fathers now that the women can't get abortions. It's like, well, maybe they'll keep it in their fucking pants too, won't they?
We can still go for smokes.
Yes, have you considered not being a whore?
Yeah. You know, for the men, have you considered not chasing whores?
Apparently they haven't.
No, apparently they haven't.
But again, it's exactly as Carl pointed out. Why does he hang around with you if he's not interested? It's because you're putting out, you silly whore.
Absolutely. And I really have no room to speak because I was quite the whore of my youth. So.
But then these same men, like on the flip side, these same men are the ones who will, you know, then be like, oh, well, you know, she's now making me help with the baby. Like, I didn't choose to be a father. It's like, if you did the, you know, if you did the crime. You know, you do get some men, and, you know, I've seen them sort of going on about this, where they're like, oh, well, you know, I didn't want to become a father, but she wouldn't get an abortion. It's like, well, she shouldn't have to. Like, we shouldn't be encouraging abortions. If you went in there and didn't take precautions, then you're also, you know, happy Father's Day.
Yes.
You know, just to take the highly conservative Christian point of view here, which is a rare thing for my atheist ass, trust me. But this makes a really good case for maintaining your virginity until you're married.
The problem with that, like, back when they would do that, people would get married a lot younger. That seems to be a lot less viable nowadays, just with costs and the fact that people just, you know, it takes them years and years and years and years and years to get on the property ladder. It takes them years to save up for weddings and whatnot. You know, you'd be looking at people who'd be, you know, virgins well into their 30s, which people just won't do.
Depending on some of the people who are breeding, that might not be a bad idea.
It might not be a bad idea, but it was, you know, it would be far more reasonable a request to expect people to remain virgin until they were sort of 16, 18, whatever. When
is it so much to ask
younger?
to request that people remain virgins until they're 16? Apparently that's a lot to
I
ask
see your
these
point there,
days.
too.
No, but the whole sex before marriage thing, like that certainly made sense when marriages were happening younger, but when they're happening later and later because of just how expensive everything is, and the fact that people are often in school until they're a lot older, then you're asking people to suppress their urges longer and longer and longer,
Yeah.
and it's not gonna happen in this day and age on a
Yes,
Yeah,
like
yeah,
on
I
a
definitely
mass.
see your point there.
I think that we need to be asking them to not refrain from sex entirely, but maybe refrain from
You
sex.
sex.
Well, apparently that's too much for them
That would
because
be a
they're dumb.
start, like that would be a start.
But like, with ladies? No, you're not ladies. Alleged holders of two X chromosomes. Have you considered not sleeping with 100 men per calendar year? I know it's a crazy fucking thought, but have you tried only sleeping with one man per year?
Sadly enough, I used to live with a girl who was kind of like that. Like, we shared a house, and every night she would bring home a different guy. Like, I had some very thick headphones, shall I say? Because and every day I'd get up and there'd be a different strange man wandering around our house, and I'm just like, Jesus, woman, just pick one.
She was seeking for one she liked.
So we have our
Speaking-
resident Texan who
Yes.
would like to spend the next hour laughing and laughing in Supreme Court.
God bless America, my home, sweet home.
I mean, I have to ask, as is it like all good news for you, or like the fact that some of these, like so California, for instance, will probably make the abortion laws worse over there? Like, how do you feel about that?
Right. Well, it's good news, I think, constitutionally
Oh.
and on the abortion front. It's bad news on the front of, like, people are gonna fucking smash and burn shit, and, like, leftist states are gonna get more depraved, which has the silver lining of them exposing themselves more.
I mean,
Especially if people are, like, attacking, like, state capitol buildings and shit, and, like, trespassing, all the while the January 6th insurrection hearings are happening, so,
yeah, I mean, theoretically, the general leftists could have imposed their free abortions up to 18 years beforehand. Because
I mean, how about mandatory abortion of the leftists?
Oh my god. No, it's actually funny because some lefty Supreme Court justices like kind of like hinted at that, like, guys, we all like Roe, but the decision is kind of constitutionally like shit. It doesn't have much standing. So maybe you might want to pass a bill or something in Congress before it gets overturned.
yeah, and they had like 60 years to do it, but they weren't interested. They just wanted to have it as a stick to beat dumb people with.
Mm-hmm. Oh, who was it that posted that amazing meme about how the Supreme Court fucking protected concealed carry just in time for the Roe opinion to come out, so that when when the looting starts, the shooting starts, okay?
Very based. So,
this is the part where we're all happy that Kyle Rittenhouse is a free man.
we need more Carl Rittenhouses.
Well, apparently they're eyeing up the rural towns instead of the cities this time, or at least some of them are. They haven't got police forces.
Well for
They
a lot
haven't.
of people.
Yeah, they're like, oh, they haven't got police forces. They haven't got fire services. We'll show them what it's like to get burned to the ground. It's like, you're gonna get shot.
Yeah,
Like, the locals are gonna come out and they're gonna fill you full of holes. That's what's gonna happen.
This isn't inner city Los Angeles. the good people in the rural areas are armed to the teeth because they know the cops are nowhere nearby. So if 100 of you show
coming
up,
up the street,
yeah,
screeching, and they're gonna come out onto their doorstep with their guns. And if you come any closer, bad things are gonna happen.
yeah. Unlike the McCloskeys, they're not just going to wave them around with poor muzzle discipline. No, they're going to shoot your ass because the safest place to point a gun is at a bad guy.
Lighter, by the way.
Well, it was allegedly a firearm and that wasn't functional until they broke it, until they made it so, and lied in court.
Oh.
But her trigger discipline and muzzle discipline was abysmal. If it looks like a gun, treat it like a gun. But remember, folks, the safest direction for a firearm is at a bad guy.
Yes, preferably a communist or pedophile.
What's the difference?
Fair point. But since Plague came in,
the difference is whether or not they've been caught.
Not all pedophiles are communists, but all communists are pedophiles.
Since Plague came in speaking as a Texan, and I am an aspiring Texan, I just want to point out that one of the very first things I will be putting on my property is a sign that says trespassers will be violated.
Giant horse cock just stapled to the sign.
Pretty much, yeah.
So, Justice Samuel Alito wrote for the Supreme Court in Friday's 5-4 decision. Abortion represents a profound moral question. The Constitution does not prohibit the citizens of each state from regulating or prohibiting abortion. Roe and Casey arrogated that authority. We now overrule those decisions and return the authority to the people and their elected representatives. Which is the correct response from the Supreme Court. It is the constitutionally correct one.
Yeah, absolutely. This is a states' rights issue as far as I can tell.
Indeed. Now, I at least was, and I believe Disco is a safe, legal, and rare person. It should, but they've decided that they'd throw rare out the window, so what's that coming towards your head at full speed? That's the pendulum, bitches. Sadly, it's going to wipe out a bunch of innocent women on the way.
We still need to make that video on that.
Yes, we really should get around to that.
That is a concern of mine. That it is not going to be the screeching blue-haired harpies in California that are going to get hit with the pendulum. It's going to be the people in the more sort of conservative states where some lawmaker is going to be, right-wing and an idiot, and it's going to go, well, we'll just ban all of them. It's like, what about the times where somebody's literally gonna die? If I'm dead, I don't want to hear. No compromise. Then you're gonna get stuff like that, and that's a shame because it is gonna be the conservative woman that'll pay that price, and it will be because of these screeching fucking harpies that have pissed someone off so much.
Exactly. So, memes. Memes are good. Ian Miles Chong says, Democrats haven't been this upset since Republicans freed the slaves.
That was actually one of the images I sent you as well.
Yes. Let's see. Regarding pointing a gun at someone being brandishing, not necessarily. There is a difference between brandishing and defensive display of a firearm, and it's also not brandishing if you then shoot them.
Fair point, but Canada has very, very funny self-defense laws.
Yeah, they're the kind of self-defense laws are you can't.
Oh, that's the UK's ones. Like, no, you can't. Put the potato peeler down. It's like, I always wanted to peel potatoes. Put the potato peeler down! Deadly weapon!
Butter knife! Call the police!
Didn't some area in the UK ban swimming pools because some burglar tripped and drowned in someone's pool after trying to rob their house?
I haven't heard of that, but I mean, it's the kind of stupid shit that they might at least attempt.
I could see that being Canada, honestly.
I hadn't heard a story like that, so Yet.
Just yes, we need a solution like Texas. If you're committing a felony after dark, you can be shot as you flee.
Oh shit! I found it. This is an old one, but I'm gonna put it in.
I do think the
Lashes.
funniest one, and this was a genuine story. There was one guy who was being like burgled, and his family were in the house, and the burglars were of a darker skin, and while he was trying to get them like away from robbing his house, he called them a naughty word, and so he'd phoned the police, and they phoned the police, and the police came and arrested the homeowner for a hate crime of calling them a naughty word. And then left the burglars with the family. Like, so the police arrive, and he's like, oh, thank goodness you're here. Like, they're trying to break into my house. And they're like, sir, we're going to have to take you down the station for hate crime.
Yeah, that sounds about right.
Yeah, between everything I've seen lately, especially Uvalde, I'm really getting to the point of thinking the police either should be completely defunded or just demoted to the cleanup crew and let the public citizen deal with problems on their own property as they see fit.
Mm. Yeah, after the whole, Texas school shooting thing, and the fact that the police they weren't just, not helping, they were getting in the way. It's like, well, if that's your shtick, that you're not there to protect anyone, then we should definitely take your funding and hire somebody who's willing to protect. Like, if we need to hire a private company who has it in their contract that they're there to protect, then maybe that's what we need to do.
Yeah.
Yeah, that might be a better way to go for sure. Just wanted to respond to something in chat. I see UCYIB1 says he's seen police pics from the UK where they literally seize butter knives and all kinds of dumb and charge them with weapons possession. The way the law works in Canada, I can walk down the street carrying a sword on my back. The moment a police officer stops me and asks me why I'm carrying it, as long as I don't say for self-defense, I'm fine. But if I do say for self-defense, then I can be charged with, if I recall correctly, it's carrying a weapon dangerous to the public with the intent to commit a crime.
Yes, because self-defense is a crime.
See, over here,
Yeah,
you're
but you can also get the
occasionally
same charge just for carrying a pen and saying the same thing.
Wow. But yeah, over here you'll occasionally see the police, and they're so fucking proud of themselves too. This is the thing. Like, they always get mocked like relentlessly when they post these things on social media, but they'll occasionally post pictures of their haul of removing deadly weapons from the street. They're like, oh, we've had a big haul today. All these weapons safely removed so that nobody will get hurt with them. And then they'll post a picture, and I kid you not, it's just like, a butter knife and like just I'm sure there was a spoon in one of the pictures once, and it's like, ooh.
Ooh, a spoon.
You're gonna get scooped.
Hey guys, I mean, we all know Spoon is a pretty dangerous guy,
It's so funny. And they get mocked every goddamn time they do it. And they keep doing it.
Yeah, but Spoon is nowhere near as dangerous as his cousin Grapefruit Spoon.
Yeah. Oh.
And yeah, student of history, self-defense is pretty much a crime over here too. Like, you're not allowed anything to defend yourself with, and even if you find something that's legal and try and defend yourself with it, if your attacker gets hurt in any way, you are done for assault.
Yeah, which
they have
brings you back to
and hours too.
Well, it's not even proportional response. Like, if you were to get like a colored, one of the things they said that is legal to own is like a spray, a colored spray that dyes their clothes, that would, I guess, make them easier to track down afterwards. But if it gets in their eyes while they're raping you, you mark them, you're done for assault.
Yep.
Oh, for God's sakes, are you serious?
Yeah, yes, it's literally on the police. It's literally on the website. Because like the other thing they like is, you can carry a rape alarm. Yeah, thanks. What's that going to do? Attract the other rapists in the area?
If you're being raped, shout fire. It draws a crowd.
I was going to think you were going to suggest...
Motherfucker, you beat me to it.
No. Shout fire and hopefully a Texan lights the bastard up.
Arden,
Always that, yeah.
I'll put it in live shows because I know Bezik's actually shown it on the show before. But if you haven't seen it, it's fucking ridiculous, man. Like this was an official like ask the police question response as well, and it's just like no, you can't have anything. And even if you find something legal, if someone gets hurt, like we're talking like it just gets in their eyes and makes their eyes sting, then that's assault. Like, oh, I'm so sorry, I made my rapist's eyes snip.
Yeah. Oh, the poor rapist.
Oh, for the love of God, I'm scanning this thing and just thinking, what the fuck?
Yeah. Okay, so, speaking of what the fuck, so...
Oh God, here we go again.
The leftists are like... So, this is from Craig Kelly, a politician in Australia. What a bunch of nasty, disgusting hypocrites. Left relentlessly attack protests supporting my choice not to submit to a medical treatment as violent. But now the left is actually inciting real violent protests, just more double standards, illegal. So, New York Post is saying, pro-choice groups call for summer of rage after Roe v. Wade abortion reversal. How is that not an imminent call to violence?
Well, I mean, I assume you've probably got it, but AOC, I mean, she literally called people to the streets.
Yes, she did. Here we go.
Maxine, what's her fucking name, that did last time, she was literally calling
Maxine
people to the
Waters.
street. Is that the one? It could be, I'm
Yeah.
not sure what her last name is, but again, like, 'cause she did this before, she's, again, calling people to the streets, and it's like, you know, then you've got
Maxine
Orange Man
Waters.
who said, you know, be peaceful, go home, people. And they're like, he's starting an insurrection.
Well, I mean, you can't blame Maxine Waters for this. Okay, Maxine Waters is a very low IQ person.
Yeah. Speaking of low IQ people, here's AIC. So, the Democrats are sitting there whining that Trump was questioning the validity of the election. Can we say that, Susan? Can we say that Trump was doing that? That your naughty evil man Trump was doing it? And who was asking for people to peacefully and patriotically make their voices heard? Well, what about AOC calling the Supreme Court illegitimate and calling for people to get into the streets? Let's listen.
She should probably get a medal, obviously.
Look at the bitch. She's smiling. She's happy. She's having a great time. She's not upset by this because it's giving her lunatics.
Like, she's not even going on as to why she thinks it's illegitimate. Like, at least, you know, whether you agree with Orange Man or not, that there was some element of naughtiness around the election, you know, he at least laid out his reasons why he felt like there was, you know, that this thing didn't add up and he wanted this checked and blah, blah, blah. She's just, like, where is she getting illegitimate from? Like, why is it illegitimate? Why... Make a fucking speech, woman. Tell us why it's illegitimate. Maybe maybe we might go, oh, okay, she got a point there.
No,
but no, she's just gonna screech it in the streets and be like, "Come on, guys, we need to burn things."
Well, that's her problem. There's nothing illegitimate about the decision. It is the constitutionally correct decision, regardless of your opinion on abortion. I think a lot of the laws regarding it are a bit smidgen too strict. So, but also, it's not the Supreme Court's business. You do not have a constitutional right to an abortion. So, speaking of why Trump should be impeached because people went on an guided tour of the Capitol, what about pro-abortion activists storming Wisconsin's Capitol building?
Why? Why? Like, you know, I understand why people went to where they went on January 6th, because that was where they were doing the, like, they were doing something to do with the election thing. I can't remember the word that I'm looking for. But, like, it made sense that that's the place that they would be. Like, you know, regardless of what they were or weren't doing when they got there, like, the actual going to that location makes sense. Like, why are you going to random fucking places?
Well, apparently
Because
this
they're elected.
was 2 days ago, a day or two ago, when the Wisconsin state capital decided not to repeal a statute criminalizing abortion. So they were there whining. Because they're that desperate to murder babies.
Why?
So, speaking of cause of violence, here is some absolute nutjob says every member of the Supreme Court who just allowed Roe v. Wade to be overturned should be pulled out of their chambers and shot in the fucking street. This isn't hyperbole, gun the motherfuckers down. They failed us, they failed everyone we know, burned them in their fucking homes. Yeah, a guy tried that with Kavanaugh. He got arrested.
How's that not incitement?
It is absolutely incitement. That's an imminent call to violence.
Mm-hmm.
But no, the FBI's too busy murdering tourists with cancer.
Okay, now I'm angry all over again.
Yes.
And another thing that really irritates me, having so recently lost my Twitter account, is I'm willing to bet this guy still has his.
Oh, I guarantee it.
Let's
I
have
guarantee he
Gun
can
the
get in trouble
MFers
for
down.
this.
Well,
No, occasionally if you do go and report people like this, like, Twitter will eventually act on that report. Sometimes it takes them weeks and weeks and weeks to do it.
Well,
And, you know,
that
I've
might
kind
have
of
to
got
do
to
with
the
the fact
point
that some of
now.
them only work 4 hours a week.
I've kind of got I've kind of got to the point now with these leftists that when they do stuff like this, I give them a taste of their own medicine and just report them. But, you know, if I misgender some, you know, rainbow creature, I'm gonna get banned within within hours.
that account doesn't exist anymore. Whoopsies.
Oh, well, in that case, I take it back. That's nice to see.
It's hard to tell whether they deleted it because of the
It
backlash or
doesn't
not.
say,
But
actually, normally it would say suspended unless they just outright yeeted it. Normally an account like that would say suspended if they had been annoying.
true. Then again, with how things are going in them for the mask, the employees might be going, maybe we should pretend to not be criminal scum for 5 minutes, so we have a small chance of keeping our jobs. So let's see.
George, how do you fucking pronounce the guy from Star Trek?
Takai.
Decay.
Yeah,
Takai.
yeah. He said on
Knob.
Twitter. So let me get this straight. A state has the right to restrict abortions, but doesn't have the right to restrict firearms. Is that what we have now in these United States?
Yes, dipshit.
Yeah.
It's called the
Did
Constitution.
One of those.
You might have heard of it.
Yeah, one of those is actually in the Constitution. Like, it's so fucking funny to me how Democrats are like, constitutional right to an abortion because privacy. Like, what the fuck? But then they're like, oh yeah, no, the Constitution, no, the right to keep and bear arms, no. They're talking about regulated militias, guys.
Well, we'll get to it shortly, but the Supreme Court said, no, fuck you. Let's have a look. So, at the pro-abortion riots, so we've got a bunch of videos from the day. So we have pro-abortion protesters shutting down the freeway and using sticks to attack drivers who won't stop. Why would you stop? And they look like lovely, well-adjusted people too.
I think a better question is, why wouldn't you swerve?
You mean aim for them?
That's what I'm saying.
It's Los Angeles. It's illegal there to defend yourself.
Yeah, fair point.
Mm-hmm. At the pro-abortion demonstration in LA, they held a large sign of a guillotine. Sorry, what were they whining about at the Trump rally?
Oh, but the difference was they had a teeny tiny model of one, and it was really funny because all the pictures they're like, "Oh my God, look, they brought a guillotine," and I think it was some pictures that I think Josh might have posted on Loads Ears that the guillotine was like it wasn't
2 feet tall or
life
something? Yeah.
size, like it was it was a statement, it wasn't a threat. Like you could have got someone in this thing.
Yeah, I actually got professionally irritated about that because other than the blade itself, I can build a guillotine and it doesn't take that long.
Yeah, it's not terribly difficult. Let's see. LAPD officers prevent the group of pro-abortion douchebags from proceeding on the street. They curse out the officers. Lovely, cute, lovely people.
Yeah, is that all they've got? Fuck you, fuck you, fuck you,
Yep.
fuck you.
And chaotic scenes at night as the pro-abortion protesters clash with police on the street. And of course, violence broke out on the street between the rioters and LAPD officers. They're totally not there to cause violence, rioters with helmets on. And here we can see one of the douchebags getting arrested.
We should make June 24th a federal holiday. Call it June 4th.
Clarence Thomas's birthday should be a national holiday. Clarence Thomas Day.
Absolutely should. International Day for the Awareness of Salt Mining.
Yeah. So basically, the far left are revolting. They're also doing an
Always.
insurrection. So here's from Jack Posobiec, LA, where they're scum. Ha ha, screw you, whore.
I've never understood why the police nightstick evolved into a tonfa. I've never understood that.
Yeah, it's a strange piece of history, but it kind of makes sense. You can get
What the hell is that Halo gun thing he's holding? Is that a tear gas launcher?
the 40mm grenade launcher.
Oh, nice.
Both tear gas or potentially rubber baton round, which will really fuck you up at that range.
Or a beanbag, yeah.
Yep.
I also love how this ruling, much like the What is a Woman documentary, dropped in Pride Month.
Yes. So, meanwhile, a far-left activist parade a street preacher during abortion rights rally in Seattle, then they destroy his Bible. Full-blown assault on Christianity, personal faith, and freedom of speech. And as Andy No says, this is a hate crime by those who assault the man for his religious beliefs and then destroy his religious text. No comment from Mayor of Seattle, the open violent extremism in his city yesterday. Well, he was probably busy engaging in some. And of course, we shouldn't forget about all the non-women who get abortions and have uteruses too. Now, because this is some idiot talking, you will have to suffer through it.
Yeah, I already saw this.
Needs it. Not just women get abortions. People with uteruses get abortions. Trans people get abortions. Trans men. Non-binary people.
Can't even make it through the fucking sentence without losing a breath, stupid fat slag.
I know. Imagine getting out of breath making a TikTok video. Oh, that was hard work.
I know. I'm just standing up. And then there's a sign. Queers against what? Ableism, Islamophobia, racism, transphobia, and fascism. Queers against exercise, more like it.
Fashion, too, from the looks of that hair.
Yep. Let's see. Memes. Yeah, why is she puffed up for making a TikTok video? What? And I can't stress this enough. The fuck? Someone says, as a matter of science, I wish I had an answer. The working theory is she's fucking fat AF.
Yeah, they talk about, healthy at any size, and it's like, if you're getting out of puff making a fucking TikTok video, you ain't healthy at that size.
Yeah, if you can't talk...
Also, I would suspect that, at that size, abortion's probably not too much of an issue, because there comes a certain point when your body's not healthy enough to actually reproduce.
Yes.
In the same way that the anorexics eventually get to a point where their menstruation stops because their body just is like, well, we couldn't do this.
Yeah, his body's like,
if she
can't race,
after
babe.
15 seconds, I mean, I can't imagine that she's got enough oxygen in her bloodstream to maintain another human being.
She didn't even last 16 seconds. She was puffed by like 4 seconds.
Just a reminder,
Fair point.
everyone needs it. Not just women get abortions. People with uteruses get
Yeah, about 6 seconds in, she's out of breath.
abortions. Trans people get abortions. Trans people.
Yeah, there we go. 8
Yeah.
seconds, and she's completely and utterly puffed.
And
Some of
that's
that
not
may
just
come
to
down
make fun of
health
someone for their appearance.
We're
that's-
also
it's not
doing that,
healthy.
but yes.
It's not healthy when you can't even get through a 15-second speech on a video without wearing yourself out. You're not gonna live much longer if that's the case.
Yeah, and I mean, even for myself, I smoke and I'm morbidly obese. I'm getting better. I'm not really planning to quit smoking, but
At least you can
if
make
I
it through 8
get into
seconds.
my breath. Sorry?
At least you can make it through 8 seconds of talking.
Well, yeah, I mean, generally I'm jabbering on pretty good for 10 minutes before I have to go. And part of that is because I've taught myself a technique for breath control when I'm actually speaking. I think ahead so I know where the break in my sentence is going to be. But this is crazy.
Yeah.
It's like, yeah, other people getting abortions really shouldn't be your main priority. Like, you probably should be.
I just saw that meme with Leah Thomas.
Yep. And you think you're having a bad week. I can't compete or get an abortion now. Good, fuck you. This ruling has no effect on Jabba's palace. Why is she so upset?
Oof. Yeah, I like the next comment. The right, oh, you scrolled away from it. Something to do with the right sure loved that my body, my choice. There.
Yeah, this one.
The right sure loved my body, my choice when it came to vaccines. Yeah.
Yeah.
And someone does point out, you do know there's a second body in there.
And then, yeah, and the response says, well, there were a lot of bodies involved in the vaccine. Everyone you walked around and passed. Well, that's their fucking problem, not ours. Ah, dear. Maltese Falcons says, oh, they did, but you pissed all over their rights. And you said there's no such my body, my choice. So cope now. This one is on the left, the pendulum effect. Might just put that in our notes for the pendulum video disco, since they bothered to call us out.
Yeah. Let's pop it in there, because we're gonna have to just take a couple days and write an outline for that video.
Yes. We'll have
Pendulum
to
go swoosh.
Yeah. Oh,
I mean,
You just need to make sure it hits the right people on the way past, you know?
Focus for that, and that you don't get distracted by twains.
silence. Don't mock the twains. Oh dear, let's have a look at some screeching. What? Look at all the fat bitches. Virtue signalers wearing their masks. Oh, there's one wearing it under their chin. They're just pathetic.
Yeah, those cat ears really make her more respectable.
And there's one of them in there who's even crying. It's like, why the fuck are you crying?
Because she's really, really upset that she can't murder more babies.
The thing is, like, I'm gonna assume, given this is very likely in a state that will not outlaw abortion. In fact, it may even make it freaking worse. And so she's crying because she can't control whether other people can murder their babies or not, I guess.
Pretty much.
Yeah.
If you can't murder your baby, you're really having a good time.
I mean, because I'm assuming this is some, leftist scene. Hose mad. Well, I mean, literally, hose mad.
Yeah. Oh dear. UCY Ibidoan says birth control is free at any county public health department in the US, by the way. But that involves personal responsibility, and leftists and black people are too stupid to find free birth control. Leftists aren't ironically true. Too stupid to fucking put their... Look, put the dick down!
Step away from the penis.
Well, it better not be more than 8 steps away, or they're not going to have a good time. When they're that fat. Of course, all the most irrelevant, stupid slags in the media have an opinion. Billie Eilish protests US abortion ruling at Glastonbury. Glastonbury's not in the United States. Like, I'm not the best at geography, but pretty sure Glastonbury is not in the United States.
Yeah, but this is the problem with this globalist fucking nonsense. It was the same with, the holy Saint
Fucking
Floyd. Because, he got wound up dead over there. And then over here, we had protests in London. And it's like, guys, who are you protesting? Our footballers are apparently taking a knee. And it's like, why? It's got nothing, it's nothing to do with us. It's not our country.
Yeah.
Stop.
Also, does she not realise that the United Kingdom and all of Europe have more restrictive laws than America? Most states in America?
Probably.
Like,
probably no.
Where's Glastonbury? Which part of the shithole known as the United Kingdom is that?
I mean, I'm not sure, but it's a festival, so, there's people from all over go to these festivals.
Well, let's see.
I've never been to Glastonbury, though, so I'm not sure where it's actually held.
Let's see what the inarguable truth that Wikipedia has to say. So, abortion in the UK is legally available through the Abortion Act 1967 and the Abortion Northern Ireland Regulations 2020. Means England, Scotland, and Wales, abortion is permitted on the grounds of risk to the life of the pregnant woman, preventing grave permanent injury to her physical and mental health, risk of injury to the physical and mental health of the pregnant woman or any existing children of her family, up to a term limit of 24 weeks of gestation, or substantial risk that if the child was born, he or she would suffer from such physical or mental abnormalities as to be seriously handicapped. Oh, what's that? It's more restrictive in the United Kingdom than everywhere in America.
Rare, then. Like, safely legal and rare then, with some common sense exceptions.
Well, note that in England, Scotland, and Wales, there is no elective abortion. Like, I'm sure they get around it by saying grave permanent injury to the mental health of a woman, but by this law, technically there is no elective abortion in the United Kingdom. So, shut up, bitch, is my response to Billie Eilish.
I mean, nobody ever accused her of being clever.
No.
So what protest is she doing? Is she ruining the festival time of a bunch of people who are in a different country? Is that what she's doing?
Hello, ladies and gentlemen.
She stood on stage and whined about a ruling in another country, even though the country she was standing in had stricter abortion laws than that country. Other country.
But what I'm asking is, because it says that she's protesting at Glastonbury, so is she refusing to play?
No, she stood on stage, whined a bit, then did a song about older men who abuse their position.
I hope she got booed.
Me too.
Yeah, I wouldn't go anywhere near fucking Glastonbury.
This
a couple of years ago that they had freaking Jeremy Corbyn there, and apparently he wasn't just on one stage, because normally these festivals there's like multiple stages, so you can go and watch whichever band or artist you want to watch. You don't have to go to all of them. And so apparently they had him on one stage, but they played him on every stage on the screens, and so you couldn't get away from Magic Grandad unless you left the arena.
Magic Grandad is a great name.
Well, honestly, though, all this just makes me wonder, like, when I'm gonna hear American lefties appeal to the fucking argument. Guys, Europe is looking down on us. Like, I don't give a fuck if
we've been looking down on you for a while.
Like if I'm pretty, the boys on the IC just covered this, I'm pretty sure, but yes, Europe is looking down on you because they're like, why are you cunts allowing elective abortions?
Yeah, it's also like they also make that appeal with guns, right? Where it's like, come on, guys, we just had a mass shooting. Europe is looking down on us. I'm getting made fun of at cocktail parties. It's like, fuck you and fuck Europe. I don't give a fuck.
Like, don't worry, we've made fun of you for a while.
American people not to be popular at Globo Homo cocktail parties with other world leaders.
Yeah. Dear. So let's have a look at some of the salt mine. So, sex strike now. Do not have sex with partners who can impregnate you. Doesn't matter if you just met on Tinder or have been married 20 years. Intercourse could cost you your life. No, that's not true. Because nowhere in the United States is abortion banned if it's necessary to save the life of the woman. But also, stop fucking around, you sluts. Stop fucking guys you met on Tinder. Stop using Tinder.
Stop using Tinder altogether.
I hate this bizarre argument from the left that like giving birth is like the baby explodes out of you like an alien chest buster. Like, you're not going to die because you're giving birth. Like, calm down.
I mean, there's a small chance of it still.
There is a small chance.
If there's severe complications, it does happen. It's very rare now, but it does happen.
Yeah,
but
I mean, even 300 or 400 years ago, when it was something like 10% risk, the population still grew. You stupid slags. Like, giving birth is, well, it's I wouldn't call it painless, but it's quite easy. It's quite natural for a woman to give birth. She just sits there and it happens to And
Yeah, exactly. It is pretty natural. There's less risk of complications, and it's easier for the body to recover and revert to a previous state than it is with oh geez, I don't know, transgender surgery.
What, you mean actively cutting your uterus out is more damaging to your body than popping out a baby like women have been doing for the last, at least 200,000 years?
Yeah.
So I just googled it. Apparently, in London, which London is considered to have a high rate of maternal deaths, even in London with a high rate, it's 0.013% chance, 0.013% chance of dying during birth, and that's a high.
I bet at least a good proportion of that is probably people who don't get to hospital in time, as in they were at home and then had a complication, and time wasn't on their side.
Yes, you see why maybe the one says sounds like the left is arguing for a change in tradition. Yeah, crazy that.
Come on. Hilariously, I don't think they realize that is the obvious solution to this problem.
Yeah.
Yeah, exactly.
They're like, let's stick it to these trad cons by practicing chastity.
It's like, oh no, anything but that.
Well, that's it. It's like they're like, well, we're going to stop fucking men. It's like, and your terms are acceptable.
You're gonna stop fucking everything that moves and spreading STDs around. Oh no! Please don't.
What that meme should say instead of intercourse could cost you your life is what they should have said is what they meant, that it could cost you your lifestyle.
Yes, that's what they are concerned about, their lifestyle. Because they've never cared about another human being.
I mean, Bethesda literally called abortion a lifestyle.
I believe that's on the list, possibly somewhere.
Probably, because I tweeted it out last night, and so I'm quite sure you probably have seen. Oh god, it's got 42 likes.
Nice. Let's see. So, Preston Mitchum, him, literally on a plane crying. I'm so mad. What are you crying about, you stupid cunt?
I thought, go away. Like on Facebook and it's fucking adverts.
Yeah, it's a he, him, not a man.
Yeah.
Yeah, exactly.
Yes.
I wasn't sure whether to keep this for the white pills later, but you should definitely not type crying at work into Twitter, and you definitely shouldn't have a hysterical laugh at all of the tweets.
Don't give away the white pills, monkey.
No.
Don't give away the white pills, monkey. No, bad monkey.
Yeah. Yeah.
We need them for later.
Yep, some stupid bitch says, I want to rip my uterus out of my body and plop it on the steps of the Supreme Court. Oh, and I'm the unhinged one. Yes, you are psychotic, you stupid cunt. You want to permanently disfigure yourself because the Supreme Court has said that it's your state representative's responsibility to decide you can't kill your babies?
I mean, that would prevent her from needing another abortion, so...
Well...
your body, your choice, Hen. Off you go.
I mean, if she wants to rip her uterus out of her body and plop it on the steps of the Supreme Court, it's like, go ahead, bitch. See how long until you bleed out. I reckon it'll be before your uterus hits the ground. Well, just by being there, they're spreading trash.
Fair point.
Dearie me. So what else do the stupid whores have to say? Because Twitter's just fun. Justin Cuckdo.
Oh, God.
Says, no government, politician or man should tell a woman what she can and cannot do with her body. I want women in Canada to know that we will always stand up for your rights to choose. Unless what you want to choose is to...
Right. Well done, Justin. So you're for it at the local level then. Otherwise, you're saying that the federal government should tell a woman what they can and can't do.
This sounds like a foreign government trying to interfere in American politics.
It does, doesn't it? Hey, Justin, can unvaccinated women get on trains yet?
Yes, actually, they can now.
Oh, well, that ruins that argument.
Finally.
Can they leave Can they leave the country? Are they allowed to leave the country?
Yeah.
No, we're allowed. Unvaxxed people are allowed to leave the country. That's why I'm in the process of getting the fuck out of here.
Yep.
Oh, yeah. I would hurry up before winter rolls around again and they go in for round 2.
Or they decide to lock us down over monkeypox or something. Yeah, I'm feverishly at this. That's what I spent all of Thursday doing.
Yeah, so look at all this. Like, what right? You only believe in freedom for women when it suits you. What about all the women you essentially made prisoners of the state when they refused the poke? James Freeman, does that include the choice on whether to be injected with an experimental treatment? Jordan Shatchell, you forced your entire nation to get injected with experimental pharmaceutical products to have a seat. Some absolute bellend. It's like, I don't think you know what the words you speak mean, lol. If you're referring to the vaccines, you can take a seat. No one's being forced to get them. No, they just couldn't leave the country, leave the province, take public transport, go outside.
Nobody's being forced to get pregnant either. You stupid cunts.
But these idiots are like, oh, no one was holding a gun against your head. You'd still say they had a choice if there was a gun against their head, you fucking
Hey, you know how I feel.
remember, I'm Australian.
Fair point. At least, I would say at least we didn't have camps, but technically, yeah. When the government basically decides where we get to live and we have to pay for it, kind of campy.
Well, it's the one thing Australia and Canada have in common is taking taking Indigenous kids away from their families and murdering them. The problem is though, the Australian government.
Was the Catholics there?
Yeah, yes, and the government, but the biggest problem is Australia did it a year ago.
Ooh.
For the second time.
I found the maddest of hoes.
Because in Australia, they voluntarily relocated an Aboriginal community to the voluntary camp, and then when a bunch of teenagers decided to climb over the fence and leave, there was a statewide manhunt.
Oh, for God's sakes.
Okay, just guys found a mad hoe.
Oh, this will be a little more white pilling.
Oh god, 2 minutes and 58 seconds.
This is the maddest of hoes.
This is atrocious! This is war on women! How?
Yeah, I think that's enough of that. And then, of course, there's memes. Who did it better?
Shouldn't have been just like, maddest of hoes where?
So performative.
It's
It is.
If anyone wants to watch the rest of the
Yeah. Alright, here we go. Here's Bethesda. We believe the ability to make choices about one's body and lifestyle is a human right. What if that choice about their lifestyle is to go to a pub without a mask or a poke?
Well, never mind.
Sorry,
never
what,
mind that.
is that silence,
lifestyle.
Bethesda?
Abortion is a lifestyle. Brand 2022.
Mm-hmm.
Shut up and make games.
They haven't made games in years.
And that's Skyrim again.
Make a good game. But I don't think they could do that.
You finish one before you release it would be nice too.
Here's an evil bitch. Not yet a human. What the fuck is it? A crocodile?
That's horrible. That's That picture is fucking horrible. The fact.
Poor baby attached to that idiot.
But what is it? Is it a crocodile? Is it an elephant? Is it an eagle? Yeah, is it a fucking chicken? Like, are we going back to Greek philosophers? Is it a featherless biped? Like, are you gonna pop out in a plucked chicken?
That picture just makes me sick, because, like, she's obviously quite heavily pregnant there. And it's like, what are you doing?
Yeah, comments like, is she referring to herself? Yes. Oh, dear. But basically, whiny hoes.
At what point does it become an option to abort the hoe and save the baby?
Well, at that age, it should definitely be possible to shoot this bitch in the head and save the baby.
If both can't survive.
Well, don't forget, she has to give birth to her non-binary trans baby.
Oh, God.
Don't get me started on babies again.
Actually, that video came up on my recommended today. I'm like, oh, fuck, no, I don't want to see that again.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Oh, thank you, Susan.
Well,
that was a hard video to make. Let me tell you.
YouTube seems to think I'm interested in your content because I've theoretically watched like 20 or 30 hours of it in the last 2 weeks.
Mm. Good. Watch the baby's video. That's a black pill.
Yeah,
Nice big old black pill.
I've got some good black pills for later. Let's see. Tim Pool. All these people calling for violence because the federal government doesn't have wide-reaching authority. You're fascists.
How many of those black pills are...
Get in the chipper, bitch!
Yes.
I'm making that sound bite my friggin' ringtone, I swear to God.
Well, it's in live shows.
Yeah, I know, I've already downloaded it.
That's great.
Oh dear. Let's see. And basically, though, I want like, oh no, teen pregnancies. Again, the solution is stop fucking, you stupid sluts. Oh, dig. What else have we got?
Well, how about because with teen pregnancies, you have to somewhat be wondering what they're fucking teaching them in school. Like,
well, apparently
they're teaching now. They want to teach kids, all about actual
Well, apparently the leftist
salute.
Apparently, yeah.
Instead of just teaching, older kids if you shouldn't until you're adults because it's an adult thing, but when you do, this is a condom.
Well, the leftist solution to teen pregnancies is if we remove all the uteruses at the age of 12 and teach them all gay sex while they can't get pregnant. And it makes me...
Just teach them how wonderful abortion is.
Yes. Because abortion is a lifestyle, according to leftists.
According to Brand.
Yeah.
I think we should focus on one thing at a time here. We're already trying to get them to stop trying to get children pregnant, 5-year-olds pregnant. So
look, can we just... I think we need to move to a blanket position of keeping leftists away from children, full stop. Mm-hmm. All leftists should not be allowed within 200 meters of a child.
Or anyone who is ever a child.
Including themselves. Yeah. So, New
Yeah,
York...
they don't even need to get their tubes tied. There are so many other options.
Like not sticking a penis inside you.
Well, even that, because he does say if they don't want to have babies but want to be sluts, then they should just get their tubes tied. That's one option, but they can also get any number of birth control options.
In fact, they can have all of them at the same time.
Yeah, that's one option, but they don't even have to go and have surgery. They can have all sorts of options. But
yes,
they want
the
to just...
is that the leftists don't understand biology, Disco.
They want to take no responsibility, and then when they get pregnant, they want to just get their abortion loyalty card.
Yeah. So, speaking of I think
with that abortion loyalty card, the fifth one, you should have your uterus removed for free.
No.
It's a bit generous.
I think it'd be cheaper to remove the head than remove the uterus. After your third abortion, when you go for your third abortion, instead of the abortion, they take you out back to the guillotine. If we're gonna guillotine people. Right, so, New York City Mayor Adams says he told his teenage girlfriend to keep the baby, but ultimately she made the decision that was smart for both of us. 5 men who can never conceive made a determination on what will happen to the women of this city and country. That's right, he wanted to keep the baby, but the bitch aborted it, and now he thinks it's a good thing.
First question, how old was he when his teenage girlfriend conceived? I think that should be the primary issue here.
Yes. I mean, that's an excellent question. Let's see. Yeah, Mike. I just don't understand this argument or statement, or whatever he's trying to say. He blew his load into a teenage girl and told her to keep the baby, but he's happy that she killed it. That's the message? Yep, he admits the woman who voted on this as well. Did anyone ask Adams how many men made the decision in 1973? Yeah, here we go. The court that ruled on it 50 years ago. All white men. The court that ruled on it this time?
Ginsburg in the middle?
No.
Oh, okay. Tiny screen, can't really see.
I for a moment I thought it was her in the back row. Second from right.
Yeah.
But no, that's a dude.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. Yep, literally a month ago, these same people were saying men could get pregnant.
Apparently.
This one fucking person.
And then this dumb bitch is like...
I work at a large corporate company and was just on a call where at least 10 people were crying, myself included. No one is okay right now.
Stop murdering babies, you sluts!
Kotaku mad.
Kotaku always mad.
Kotaku, here's how to add US Supreme Court justices to Minecraft for no reason at all. I thought the Minecraft meme was, the FBI was onto it. Somebody better, report Kotaku.
I mean, yes. Here's some dumb bitch. Yeah, dumpster fire mum. That sounds about right, you stupid bitch. Which is still true. Men can get pregnant. That doesn't mean all men can get pregnant. Just like some women can't get pregnant. No one's saying that these Supreme Court justices or any others is men can get pregnant, but that doesn't mean that no men can. Yes, it does, you stupid bitch. Because guess what? Men don't have uteruses.
How does someone like that function day to day? Problem has to completely cripple their ability to think.
Well, I found out through my life, even separate from this, that apparently dumb people are really, really happy and have nice lives because they're too fucking stupid to realize how useless they are.
Yeah, fair point. Ignorance is bliss.
Like the average, everyday fuckhead, your basic 90 IQ Democrat, they're happy because they're morons.
I guess not having an inner monologue is really comfortable.
Like, if you never think and just do what your instincts and the media say to do, like, that's a really simple life. There's no stress there. You're happy because you just do. Thinking is what causes misery.
Very zen.
Well, it sounds like the ultimate form of Zen. Empty your mind completely. Well, the left did, and now look at them.
I guess the difference is it's not supposed to start empty. Like, that's not supposed to be the baseline.
Yeah, fair point.
Yeah. Usually why Obi-Wan says, by this logic, non-gun owners should be prevented from making any gun legislation. Based.
Ooh, I like that.
Oh, dear. Yep. Whores lose the right to kill unborn children, 2022. Stop fucking you, sluts. What are we doing? We're truly living in a glorious moment for prog schizo posters. Why they think the feds are going to break into everyone's period trackers is beyond me, but I hope it's really going to happen. I don't. But, yeah. Even if you live in a state where abortion is legal, take all period trackers off your phone now. Track in a pocket calendar and use a code phrase. Lunch with K, call mum, or symbol, star circle. Wear a mask if you go into any healthcare facility for repro care. Why? Because facial recognition software exists. Yeah, well done, you fucking dumb cunt. For the last 2 years, you've been training it to tell even with the mask. Guess what? It works.
This is so paranoid.
Yeah, but it's so wrong. Apple can unlock, can use the Face ID to unlock your phone when you're wearing a face mask now. Well done. You've given all the AIs in the world the ability to see through masks. Good job, dumbasses.
The upside, that should have Antifa shitting themselves.
Yep.
Number 4 there is really, really disturbing for me because I've done a lot of first aid and a couple of medical interventions and things over the course of my life. The event of a miscarriage, do not tell them if you've taken anything. No, motherfucker, make sure you tell them everything that you've taken, because if they give you the wrong drug, it could kill you.
Yeah. Oh, I'll take this herbal supplement that causes me to miscarry and not tell the doctor. And then the doctor's like, here, have this really helpful drug. And, oh, they're dead. Why? Because fatal reaction between the two drugs. Leave your phone at home if you go to any healthcare facility for repro care so the tracking data doesn't place you there. Listen, Ho, do you think that the healthcare facility is not going to record your name? Like, come on. And do you think that the state can't just walk into all these healthcare facilities if you're this fucking paranoid and go, we'll have your records, can't?
Well, maybe we shouldn't have pushed for everybody's medical records to be
Public knowledge? Yeah.
And
Funny that.
America has private healthcare, so which means you need to give them your health card. So you're leaving a digital fingerprint everywhere.
Yeah, and they were really happy about this when it came to the poke. In fact, they figured that it should be known your status at all times by everybody who wants to know it.
Yep, you should wear your yellow armband with your star on it at all times.
Next time, in fact, next time some lefty hoe asks me what my my vax status is, I'm gonna ask them about their fucking abortion status.
Yeah, how many abortions have you had? Bitch. So this dumb bitch says, medically, the treatment is the same no matter why you're having a miscarriage. No, it's fucking not. Women currently in prison for miscarrying were turned in by healthcare professionals. Well, if they ask you what you've taken. I don't think there's anybody currently in prison for miscarrying. If there is,
Also,
No.
you're lying about the word
It's not
miscarriage.
the same as miscarriage.
Yes.
It's complete Orwellian language. That's not a miscarriage, that's an abortion. A miscarriage
Exactly.
doesn't happen on purpose.
That's the definition. That's what's got the word miss in it. But they're not very smart. They're not interested in language, other leftists.
This has been great, but I'm gonna go sleep for another hour.
All right, second, have fun. Enjoy your expanded Second Amendment rights.
Yes.
See you later. Enjoy Texas.
Yeah, he will. So if you can pull it off, cry and beg them to save your baby, even if you tried to miscarry, especially if... I hate you so much, woman. Use incognito browsing windows. Delete browser data. Listen, you illiterate fucking hoe. Do you think that that's going to stop them? Like, fuck me dead. It takes all of 3 seconds to get the data back off your computer, and all of half an hour to send a warrant to your internet service provider.
I'm honestly surprised she didn't suggest using a VPN.
Well, if she wasn't an idiot, she would have. If she actually knew what she was talking about. Oh, dear. Trust no one. I know he says he wants this abortion because he's not ready to be a father, but he also wants that 10k. What, the 10k for turning in a stupid slag getting an abortion? Have you tried not going to Texas?
That's actually a good idea.
I mean, what was it they were saying during the Cold War? Trust but verify?
Yeah.
Hmm.
But trust no one should have started with the person who told this woman, hey, you know, abortion is not a bad thing.
Yep. The student of history says use incognito mode. Bitch, the FBI still knows people's degeneracy. It's not just not in your active search history. The Crow is in chat. Evening, Crow. What else we got? Ah, yes, here we go. But wait, the WHO has decided to weigh in on this. Do we care what they have to say? Not really, but... Well, they've demand the end to all time limits on abortions. That's right. Even if you're in the process of labour, as long as the baby hasn't popped out yet.
Push the head back in! Push the head back in!
Yep.
Oh, for God's sakes.
Health organization claims the laws preventing abortion at any point violate rights. I'm sorry, you cunts don't get to talk about violating rights after the shit you've been in favor of for the last 2 fucking years. Like, no. The World Health Organization does not get to say the word rights.
But it's different. It was to save Granny. You value life, don't you? So clearly you want Granny to not catch the cold.
Yes, and we should ask Granny's opinion of abortion at this point.
Yes.
Oh, no, that old hoe will be dead soon. She can't be making laws for everyone.
Well, not like Ruth Bader Ginsburg was.
Yeah. All right, here we go. One of its external experts claims womb shouldn't be used as it's an emotional word. The fuck should we call it then? The baby hole?
I hate this.
Gestation chamber?
Like
it seems like they want to take all the humanity out of the language so that
They
they'll make it
do.
easier for us not to be human anymore.
like they don't seem to realize that if they carry on like this, we'll just and they keep pushing for artificial wombs. Well done, men no longer need you to reproduce. What's that? You're all dead. Well, that was fucking stupid of you, wasn't it?
And the Warhammer 40k crowd will be extremely pleased. So I saw a debate, I think it was last night or the night before, between two guys who were basically saying, look, the moment there's artificial wombs, all the women are gone because we'll just continuously pump out genetically perfect super soldier males.
Yes. Like, you want to know what happens when you reduce the amount of women? Well, why do you think there's a reason why China is getting uppity, and it happens to be because they've got 100 million excess men who are sitting at home with mathematically no chance of ever getting a wife, causing trouble domestically.
Yeah, fair point.
In that case, it seems like it would be a really bad idea to get rid of the women, even if you had artificial wombs then, because
Oh, you're just
then
saying
you
that
end up
because
with
you're
China. Well, no, then you end up with China. If the problem's not necessarily that they aren't reproducing, like they don't have any kind of family or like companionship in that case.
No, Disco. In the hyper-socialist future with the bugs and the pods, that's a feature, not a bug.
Yeah, but I'm not talking about that. Like, you're the one that's saying, no, we'll just get rid of all the women then. It's like, okay, well, then you have a bunch of men who have very much no purpose.
Yeah, but that's what I'm saying. I'm not the one agreeing with it. I'm saying that that's what they want. That's not a problem for the New World Order.
Yeah, because the men's purpose under the ideals of the New World Order will be to serve the order.
Yes. As Crow says, an abundance of men is usual if you want a large disposable army. Which is exactly what the European Union wants. You know, so they can conquer England.
This is such a nasty thing to think about. Like, the amount of men out there currently trying to make robot waifus is already disturbing. Never mind if we can actually grow a real woman.
Yeah. So, let's see. In response to this, Tory MP Fiona Bruce, co-chair of the all-party parliamentary pro-life group, described any proposal to legalise abortion up to birth as completely unacceptable and truly shocking. Yes.
Woman.
She added, a viable human being could have his or her life ended up to the point of birth, yet a day, an hour, even moments later, similar action against a child could constitute murder. Yeah, but they don't care. They'd kill the child too.
They're just like, oh, well, we'll just expand it to like 2 years old then.
Yeah, exactly.
They'll keep the child comfortable, and then a discussion will ensue. Quote Ralph Northam.
Mm-hmm. So, their abortion care guidelines will allow abortion under all circumstances, ruling out laws banning terminations because the fetus is the wrong sex. I
can't imagine people doing that. Like, that is just the wrong sex.
Mm-hmm. Stop women requiring approval from a doctor or nurse to have a termination. Sorry, who's going to carry out the termination then, you stupid cunt? Like, the whole... What?
That's just looking for the abortion on demand issue there.
I mean, that's not even sounding like it's abortion on demand. Like, who's carrying out the abortion if it's not a doctor or a nurse? Like, are we going to get some crackhead in off the street? I mean,
Some dude with a
probably.
really powerful Dyson.
Yep. Roll out pills by post schemes so that women can be sent abortion medication after a phone call.
Pills by post.
No, you stupid slags. You have to do the walk of shame to the pharmacy to get the morning after pill. Maybe you'll fucking learn next time. And curtail medical professionals' rights to refuse to take part in abortions on conscious grounds. Congratulations, you've invented slavery.
Whoa. Yeah. That's, no.
Not very smart, are they, these leftists?
It's absolutely inhumane to make someone take part in something they absolutely disagree with.
Yep.
That's the Handmaid's Tale in reverse.
Yeah. But nowhere in the 210-page document is there mention of the ethical debate about the rights of the unborn child. Well, of course there isn't. The World Health Organization doesn't give a shit about their rights after they're born. Why'd they care before? Prior to the publication, the World Health Organization consulted a panel of 12 external experts, including Dr. Damika Pereira, Global Medical Director of UK-based Mary Stopes International, whose British arm carries out more than 60,000 NHS abortions a year. Oh, I'm sorry, did you ask for opinions on abortion from the people who make money from abortions? Like, fuck me dead. It's like asking for medical advice from the people who make drugs. Oh, wait.
Oh, wait. Pfizer CEO thinks that we might need a 10th booster shot this year. Like, that's, yeah. I guess I need to top up the company accounts, huh?
Yes.
The whole pharmaceutical industry wants boosters to be a regular thing now, so
Yeah.
it's probably going to be seasonal.
Yeah,
if they can
man
manage
who
it.
sells widgets thinks everyone should buy more widgets. Like, guys, for fuck's
Go
sake,
figure.
come on.
Weird.
It says a review of 21 studies found that when women are denied late determinations, it can be viewed as being incompatible with international human rights law. What human right says that you can murder a baby at 50 weeks?
50 weeks?
I don't know. How long's a pregnancy?
40, I think.
Not that long.
About.
Yeah, well,
I mean,
okay,
they
my point
probably
still
would at
stands,
50
but they probably still be...
No, the reason I bring it up is because 50 weeks is like, that's like a 2-month-old.
Well, they're probably still in favour of that.
Well, fair point, yeah. They probably want to have that 60-day trial to see if they want to return it or not.
Yeah, basically. Speaking of, I think we have that article somewhere. Where did it Monkey post it?
So many black pills.
Monkey, where did you post the black
pill?
pill?
Lots of white pills this week, mate.
I'll try.
There we go. From The Nation, abortion involves killing and that's okay.
I need more tea. Anyway.
It's okay part of it.
Disco's done.
When Disco comes back, I'm going to take a short break to go have a cigarette.
All right.
Yeah, I definitely need a moment away from this. Oof.
Cigarette breaks the whole time.
Yep. So, let's do some reading. To be pro-choice is to be against forced life. Forced life. No.
What an expression.
By Sophie Lewis. In 2019, the bitch published a kind of manifesto, Full Surrogacy Now, whose opening line is, It is a wonder we let fetuses inside us. The opening pages are entirely given over to my extended pen to the process of gestating in all its shockingly grisly biology. It's every day subliminal. You stupid bitch, go away. Shut up.
I want to strangle my internet connection now.
I'm sitting here contemplating wrapping an Ethernet cable around my...
Oh, yeah. Not yours, hers. Or with her.
Yes.
In Minecraft. In Minecraft.
I don't think this can get any worse.
It's a wonder that we let fetuses inside us. Yeah, you see all those menus.
Scroll back to that for a second.
You know that stuff that comes out of their penis? Yeah, we're also wondering why you let so much of that inside you, and now we're complaining you're pregnant.
It's like they're sitting there.
A little bit more, please.
It's like they're sitting there going, "How is baby made?" Like they're so.
Scroll up. I just need you to scroll up a little bit. I want to read something again. A little more. Yeah, perfect. Okay. Yeah, okay, so they use the expression forced life, and then they're perfectly content to make someone else carry their baby.
Yep. I mean, these are the people that are perfectly content to force people to get medical procedures against their will, force people to perform medical procedures against their will, force people to work against their will.
Yeah, I see why Trim wanted the break today.
Oh, dear. Oh, here we go. There's something infantilizing about denying the fact that embryos die when we scrape them out of the bodies of which they are a part. Basic soft to commit a hate crime.
Yeah. Where's that soundbite again?
Oh, dearie me.
I think I've got one. Come here!
Oh, here we go. When a beloved non-human member of the family is sick and elderly, many pet owners decide not to pay for medical care and opt for euthanasia instead.
It's a baby, not a fucking kitten.
Can I euthanize her? Can I put her out of my misery?
If only. I still have to raise the moral objection that I don't think that's right, just because of their opinion. I know, yeah. It would be so very nice if we could. I would like to have them come towards me so that I might visit great violence upon their person.
I don't have words to describe how much I hate this. But, like, do you want... Do you want us to ban abortion in all circumstances and consider it murder and put you and sentence you to life in prison? Because this is how you get the overreaction.
Here's a great line. When we force anti-abortionists to disagree explicitly with this, we bring their logic of female subordination into the open. Hang on. Wasn't part of the whole feminist rhetoric up until about 15, 16 seconds ago, women were superior because they could give birth?
Yeah, but that was before they couldn't define what a woman was.
Yeah, fair point. Okay, I'm going for that cigarette now. Yeah. I'll be right back. I still only 5 minutes.
Yeah, the Real Hot Snyder is subscribed. Hello, welcome. I do not apologize for the suffering. But I just wish none of us had to do it.
Yeah, poor Arden. Welcome to the Sultans.
Yes, welcome to Black Pills with Us. Gregory Press says, to save the Medicare/NHS and cut costs, we've decided to euthanize you instead of treating your cancer. I mean, the leftists would totally do that. We must save the holy NHS. So, goodbye, Grandma. We thought we were trying to save Grandma. No, fuck that bitch. She's against abortion.
Yeah, pretty much.
Oh, dear. Right, so... we're moving back to good news. So, the Supreme Court has struck down a New York gun control law that required people to show proper cause to get a license to carry a concealed handgun outside the home. The vote is 6-3. Yep, we have dinged again.
The Real Holtzinator donated $5. You know, usually I would point out the difference between humans and animals in terms of potential, but for these fine creatures I'll make an exception. Also kind of different to end a life toward the end of life and at the start emo.
Yes, okay, so we have a donation from the Real Hot Snyder. Did you guys hear the automated readout? Yes? No? Maybe?
No.
Ah, but
No.
so the real hot snail said, usually I'd point out the so they don't know $5 and said, usually I would point out the difference between humans and animals in terms of potential, but for these fine creatures I'll make an exception. Also, kind of different to end of life towards the end of the life and at the start, in my opinion. Yes, I would agree.
Yeah, definitely.
Absolutely. Ah, dear. And just the salt in the comments. It's like, can someone point out the word own? Keep and bear, you fucking dumbass. What do you think the word keep means? Yeah, keep and bear arms. Yeah, what do you think that means?
I'm all that smart.
Yeah. Some other idiots like, let me put this on the record. This will have severe ramifications. More mass shootings, more killings, more casualties, more families separated. How? Are you saying that the people in New York are a bunch of criminal thugs? I mean, yes, but also no. Oh, dear. They're like, God, someone else. Oh, who has a Ukrainian flag? Really? Really? You want to know why a civilian might need a gun and you support Ukraine? Really, bitch? Yep. They're like, God help us all. The United States is in peril with the Supreme Court. Someone fast and I was like, why? Because normal citizens don't have to show cause why they need a permit to carry. Politicians and celebrities all have armed security, but average citizens didn't have the same rights. This opinion means you don't have to offer an extraordinary excuse to obtain a carry permit. Yes. Yeah.
Okay, I'm back.
Welcome back.
Mm-hmm.
Yes, thank you so much. We're talking about guns now? Thank God.
Yes. The Supreme Court has decided that New York can go fuck itself. Which is acceptable. So yes, very, very salty.
Yeah, Brendan Herrera was talking about this law on one of his videos, I think from yesterday. And he pointed out that the law was about 100 years old. So this law was written to combat gangsters and their gun malls.
Yep, I'm just scrolling through the decision, so the actual decision, so we can quote it because there's some good stuff in there. Sadly, we have to. I'm just scrolling past the dissenting losers. Billy Blogg says that he can't wait to see the Asians in New York blasting those white supremacists that beat and rob them all the time. Ooh.
Empire State Koreans. Woo!
Oh, God. Where is... Where is the actual bit of the decision? Yeah, here we go. So, the constitutional right to bear arms in public for self-defense is not a second-class right, subject to an entirely different body of rules than the other Bill of Rights guarantees. We know of no other constitutional right that an individual may exercise only after demonstrating to government officers some special need. This is not how the First Amendment works when it comes to unpopular speech or the free exercise of religion. It is not how the Sixth Amendment works when it comes to the defendant's right to confront the witnesses against him. And it's not how the Second Amendment works when it comes to public carry for self-defense. New York's proper cause requirement violates the 14th Amendment in that it prevents law-abiding citizens with ordinary self-defense needs from exercising their right to keep and bear arms. We therefore reverse the judgment of the Court of Appeals and remand the case for further proceedings consistent with this opinion. It is so ordered.
Nice. It's pretty firm language for a legal document, too.
Yep. Like, Clarence Thomas is out to fucking take some blood.
I wonder if he went into work that day and went, "It's my birthday, bitches. You're all getting my presents."
Yep. Oh dear, it's glorious. Jonathan Crow's like, who the fuck made margins so thick? That's legal documents for you, so they can scribble shit on the sides.
Yeah, true.
Oh dear. So what else we got? Yes.
Student of history says in the chat, in a rare moment, good on the NRA for taking point on this issue. I seem to recall, and I may have this wrong, but I seem to recall someone pointing out that the NRA had actually been in favor of this law at the time. Though I don't know if that's correct. I may be thinking about a different issue.
Mm-hmm. So, I just thought we'd have a quick look at how, at the same time this is going on, more and more states keep bringing in constitutional carry, which means that you don't need any permits whatsoever to just carry a firearm, open or concealed.
Yeah, that's exactly the way it should be.
As it should be. Yep, a lot of states have permitless open carry, but you need a permit for concealed carry. But constitutional carry, if you're an American citizen, that's your fucking permit right fucking there. Where's your permit? Unfolds the Constitution. It
was signed by Thomas fucking Jefferson.
Yes. Get a pocket Constitution. Do you have a permit for that firearm? Right here, bitch ass. Oh dear. Okay, what do we got next? Yes. Just an example, Texas brought in a new law on September 1st, 2021. People who qualify under the law can carry a handgun in public place in Texas without a license to carry. So you need to be at least 21 years old, not have a prior felony conviction, not have a recent conviction for certain types of misdemeanors, not be subject to an unexpired protective order, not be restricted from possessing a firearm under federal law, not be intoxicated except in certain situations. Beautiful.
So you can sometimes be drunk handling a firearm? I love Texas.
Yep. Except it's... Well, fuck it, let's find out if it'll tell us what that is. Okay, a person commits an offence if the person intentionally, knowingly, or recklessly carries on or about his person a handgun at the time of the offence, younger than 21, has been convicted on an offence under something else, is not on the person's own premises or premises under their control, or inside or motor vehicle, da-da-da-da-da. Yeah, hold on, where is it?
Or watercraft, because everybody should have the right to carry an Uzi under jet ski.
Yes. Okay, it's A6. The person commits the offence if the person carries a handgun while the person is intoxicated and is not on the person's own property, inside of, or directly en route to a motor vehicle or watercraft. Hold on.
No Uzis on the jet skis.
Hold on a second.
While you're drinking.
You commit an offence if you carry a handgun while intoxicated and are not inside of a motor vehicle.
Wait, what?
That's the most Texas thing I've ever heard.
Oh, that's awesome.
Oh, fucking Jesus. Or watercraft.
Or with the consent of the owner.
Oh,
It's a
dear.
whole new meaning on riding shotgun. Oh, good God, that's awesome.
Oh, dearie me. Meanwhile, Governor DeSantis continues promoting permitless carrying following SCOTUS ruling. What you don't want is to have a government bureaucrat stymie your ability to exercise your constitutional rights. God, I love DeSantis.
Man, that is so based.
It's fucking glorious.
Yeah, Florida is second choice if I can't get to Texas.
Well, it really comes down to whether you prefer a dry heat or a humid heat.
Well,
You're
I'm
Canadian.
staying away from the beaches on Florida anyway.
Yeah. Oh dear. So that's the end of the good news for a bit.
Oh dear.
Speaking of gun control and how everyone
Wait,
should
one
have...
other cigarette.
So, speaking of how the police won't protect you, let's have a look at something from the Uvalde City Council. Because they want to get rid of Chief Arredondo, you know, the guy who didn't have a radio and then stood near the school and told the cops not to go save the children.
And to stop parents from trying to do it.
Yep. Let's have a listen.
Son of a
2 doors
bitch.
down from Robb Elementary. I was there the day of the shooting. So thank you for changing exactly what I was going to say, Mr. Mayor, because you said we don't have the power to fire him. Let me give you a simple out. You can remove him because he's going to vacate his seat. So your agenda number 6 is a decision on whether or not to give him a leave of absence. Why the hell would you? Let him miss 3 meetings. He's my councilman. Let him miss 3. Don't waste any more time on him. I know you probably all have a relationship with him. I don't know him. He's my councilman. I'm sitting in a district right now that no councilman has come to my door to say, hey, how you doing? There's 22 lives that were lost. We all know why. The investigation's going to come in and tell us all why and what we can do better. What you can do right now is not give him, if he requested it, a leave of absence. Don't give him an out. We don't want him. We want him out. We wanted to do a recall petition, right? We had so much enthusiasm in it right away. 162 votes, we need 25%, right? But we can't because he hasn't been in his seat for 8 months. That's BS. So then we thought, how do we change the charter? Well, it's already been amended. We can't do it for another 2 years, but you can do something right now, tonight, and not table whether you're going to decide to give him that leave of absence. I implore you, do not give him that leave of absence.
I've heard you guys, and this bothers me a whole lot. I had an idea when I came in here. I was going to do a very short grant leave of absence so that we had to vote on it over and over and over, so you guys wouldn't see him. But I don't need to talk a whole lot more. I make a motion we do not grant the leave of absence for Councilman.
Good man.
Yep. Good. Good. I hope he misses those 3 meetings. Because he's not going to show up and face the public.
No, for sure.
So, and when he misses, he's fucking gone. Meanwhile, speaking in Uvalde, well, shit, I've got so many tabs open. So, you heard of sweeping shit under the rug? How about demolishing the school and sweeping the whole fucking thing under the rug?
Ooh.
Uvalde's shooting. Robb Elementary School to be demolished, says the mayor. So he made the claim on Tuesday at a tense and emotional council meeting with residents demanding answers over the shooting. He did not say when the school would be demolished. My understanding, and I had this discussion with the superintendent, is that the school would be demolished. You can never ask your child to go back or teacher to go back to that school ever. Why the fuck not? Like, why not mothball it for 5 years until all the fucking kids are too old?
Yeah.
Or just send them out.
Yeah.
Like, just close the school till the end of the school year, and then next school year, just bring in, like, the first years. Like, come on, how many millions do you intend to waste? Jonathan Crow's like, well, that went better than expected, and he's like, oh, I spoke too soon. Welcome to the Sultans, where I build you up and smash you back down again. Oh dear. Meanwhile, we can see police with shields standing in a hallway being cowards. Yes, images have emerged showing police officers arriving at the attack earlier than previously reported. Meanwhile, the Uvalde mayor is defending him. Photo emerges of Uvalde cops stacked in ready to storm classroom with assault rifles and ballistic shields, but were held back by top cop for 46 minutes while shooters slaughtered kids and teachers inside. New photos have emerged showing police waiting in the hallway during the Uvalde school massacre. One photo shows cops huddled behind ballistic shields in the hallway 46 minutes before confronting gunmen. Uvalde Mayor Don McLaughlin defended police decision not to confront gunmen, said investigators lie, leak, mislead, or misstate information to protect troopers. He needs to go to jail too. Yep, here we go. Taken from surveillance video at 12:04 p.m. Police huddled behind at least 2 ballistic shields with body armor and rifles.
I can't fathom this. I mean, if this had been my hometown, I'd have gone in there with a knife.
Well, the parents fucking tried.
Yeah, they tried. The police
Yeah.
stopped them.
Police arrested them.
Which is a whole other level of...
Yeah. Meanwhile, from the Texas
So
Tribune...
my blood pressure was doing real well before I came on here today.
Welcome to the Sultans.
Thanks. Yeah, I'm not coming back.
I mean, you must have known you're in the child, you know.
Yeah, I know, yeah.
It's a whole different trauma being here in person, isn't it?
It is very much different being part of the conversation.
Yeah, so here's how Pete
Because
Arredondo...
I understand how Trim feels now because I'm constantly muting myself so I can swear quite a lot.
Well, now you know why Monkey and I started doing white pills.
White pills? Yeah.
Yeah, break. As soon as this is over, you want to just go out and smash things. So like, okay, let's just calm down and do some white pills.
Yeah.
I have the benefit that I can go out in my shed and break wood, but it's breaking it for a constructive purpose. So yeah.
Yeah. So so we've got Arredondo lying. We have big picture from Texas Tribune. If there was kids in there, we need to go. Officers in Uvalde were ready with guns, shields, and tools, but not clear orders.
Then you should punch your chief in the teeth with the butt of a rifle and ignore anything else he says and get the fuck in there.
Yes. So I'm going, rather than read, because I'm going to bring over a video from Donut Operator where he was going over some statements from the head of the Florida State Police. And
man's mustache makes me so jealous.
It should. So let's see.
This meeting is still ongoing, so hopefully it doesn't end while we're breaking this down and the VOD gets pulled, the live stream gets pulled right away. So let's get started.
Mr. Chairman, Senators.
This is the guy I was talking about.
Director of Texas Department of Public Safety. As Senator Gutierrez noted, it's been 28 days since the senseless massacre of 19 innocent children and their 2 teachers at Robb Elementary School. Much has been done, but much more needs to be done before this investigation is completed and presented to the District Attorney, Christina Mitchell, for her review.
This is actually, for the people that are jumping in, I said it a little while ago, this is actually what happened. The Texas State Police came into Uvalde and they've done a good chunk of their investigation. Jack, thank you. Thank you. Justin, Kyle O. Lynn, thanks for the 46 months. Zach, again, thank you so much. Echo, and then Silent, thanks for the demonetization money. I appreciate you guys.
However, we do know this. There's compelling evidence that the law enforcement response to the attack at Robb Elementary was an abject failure and antithetical to everything we've learned over the last 2 decades since the Columbine massacre.
Jesus Christ, that's how he's starting it off, calling it an abject failure. Woo!
Yep, so it just starts calling it an abject fucking failure. So he goes on for quite a bit, and I strongly recommend that everyone check out this video. I will post it in chat. I strongly recommend checking it out if you haven't already.
Yeah, I saw a substantial amount of this. Donut's one of my subs. Or one of those that I sub to, I should say. I wish he was one of my subs.
Oh god, imagine.
But, yeah, no, this video I watched must have been, I'd say 90% of it. And it's amazingly infuriating how many stack on stack on stack of failures came out of this situation. And it all goes right back to the chief.
Yep, and I think that's going to be where it's going to end. That chief is going to wish he was dead. Ah, dear. So, how about some good news before immediately bad news?
Okay.
Well, I think we actually covered this shortly earlier in the memes. How about the Swimming Association makes a slight decision to restrict transgender swimmers in women's events? Well, yep, that's it. Only swimmers who transition before age 12 can compete in women's events. That's right. It's okay if you cut your tits off and rip out your uterus or cut your penis off as long as you're 11 when you do it.
Great.
So now all we have to do is find a way to make puberty blockers and other stuff illegal for people who aren't of age.
I think we should... I'm starting to think that we should make transitioning illegal. Actually, I've been thinking that for a long time. It's medical malpractice. Shouldn't be allowed.
Well, I mean, there was a massive outcry not too long ago about female genital mutilation. This is kind of in the same category. The only difference is this is
Considerably
driven by a non-religious ideology.
Yep, and it's considerably worse, because at least in FGM, they don't rip out the fucking uterus. Or at least I don't think that I've heard of that.
No, they pretty much, in the worst cases, they almost completely sew them up.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it's not great. It should all be crimes.
Yeah.
Meanwhile, what went wrong at the Tavistock Clinic for Trans Teenagers? Well,
going into the, I think it went wrong around the time that they walked in the front door. To be honest,
since 2010, the number of teenage girls referred to the Tavistock Mutilation Centre has increased by 5,000%. Now, former patients and staff members are speaking out.
Now, yeah. Did you wait?
Mm-hmm. For me, it began with the graph. In 2017, it was shown a chart of children referred to the mutilation centres, the Tavistock and Portman's Trust. Overall case numbers have risen from just 72 in 2009 to 10 to 1,807 in 2016 to 17. But there was something more puzzling. Female referrals, once a fraction of males, now made up 70% from 32 to 1,265. The number of teenage girls with gender dysphoria had risen by 5,000% in 7 years. And it's totally not indoctrination.
it's recruitment.
It is.
To pump those numbers.
So this person...
The only way these people can reproduce is asexually, so they have to find someone to be the next generation.
Yep. So this person's an actual journalist and says their journalistic curiosity was sparked more so when I could find no mention of this in mainstream press. Only people collecting data and testimony were online parents groups in Britain and the US. Moreover, their stories revealed a distinct pattern repeated worldwide from Australia to Sweden. The stories all began with a daughter who rejected girly clothes and toys for boyish pursuits like skateboarding, comics, or video games. At primary school, she was mainly happy and parents quietly assumed and accepted she would grow up a lesbian. But then puberty loomed. Ooh, puberty. Now at secondary school, she was bullied for looking butch or having same-sex crushes. She was often mentally vulnerable, prone to anxiety, food disorders, ADHD, depression, or self-harm. She was horrified by her emerging female body, breasts that brought unwanted sexual attention, periods she found disgusting. Retreating into online forums, she emerged convinced she was really a boy. Still, parents were mainly unfazed. They didn't care.
The internet was radicalizing these girls.
Yes.
Yes.
Still, parents were mainly unfazed. They didn't care if their daughter had short hair or wore only jeans. They weren't much concerned she asked to be called he and chose a male name. When a daughter, typically 12 to 14, was referred to the mutilation centre, they assumed that Tavistock, world-famous at psychodynamic therapy, would explore a child's myriad underlying issues. Instead, sometimes after only 2 sessions, or we found out recently without even seeing them in person, their daughter was recommended for the puberty-blocking drug Lupron, a pause button, they were told. Oh, is that the one that's used to chemically castrate pedophiles? Yes, it is. We covered that last time. Pause button, they were told, while they were exploring gender identity to decide whether to progress to testosterone at 16. Many parents informed by trans activist groups their child may commit suicide if they went through the wrong puberty, signed the consent form. Others did research. They discovered that Lupron, while used to chemically castrate sex offenders to treat prostate cancer, is unlicensed for gender dysphoria. They read blogs by detransitioners, mainly young women in America, where private gender clinics perform double mastectomies on girls as young as 13. Holy shit! A process TikTok savvy surgeons jocularly called Tetus Deletus. Bears it's going to commit a transgender hate crime.
Yeah. Save me a seat. I'll hold their ankles. God.
Just yeah, look. From fuck all to over 2,500. What the actual fuck? What the actual bloody fuck? So yeah, this is a really long article, but it seems to be quite well written and goes into great depths with it. And this is somewhere in one of the Discords. So yay! How about New York Post? I literally lost organs. Why detransition teens regret changing genders? When Chloe was 12 years old, she decided she was transgender. At 13, she came out to her parents. She was put on puberty blockers and prescribed testosterone. At 15, she underwent a double mastectomy. Less than a year later, she realized she'd made a mistake. But wait, it gets worse. How about man says he had sex organs removed on NHS, then regretted it the same day?
The same day, Jesus.
Yep.
I mean, if you woke up and your penis had been turned inside out, I reckon there'd be some regret.
Yeah.
Actually,
And a significant amount of discomfort, I would hope.
Actually, maybe this was a bad idea. Yeah, maybe this was a bad idea.
Maybe, just maybe. It's fucking unbelievable. Absolutely fucking unbelievable. But it's clearly indoctrination.
I have to call out the first comment under that picture. Oh well, never mind. Took some balls to do it in the first place.
Well, don't worry, he's got 9 now. Seriously, that's fucking pathetic. Okay.
I assumed this fellow was an adult who knew. Oh yeah, okay. He transitioned at age 25.
Yeah, and the surgery is the biggest mistake of his life. And student history says his reaction would be finding whoever did it and turning them inside out.
I hear it. But I mean, with this, okay, you're an adult. Fine, you have the right to make your decisions about your physical form. But to suggest this to a child.
But counterpoint, people with body dysmorphia.
Even Joseph Mengele doing that.
Probably not. But like, counterpoint, people with body dysmorphia, we don't just cut their arms off.
And is achromatic.
Jesus Christ, monkey!
And milk is the opposite of black.
Thank you for sharing, monkey.
Turn your porn down.
Monkey, what are you doing?
He'd better be preparing white pills for later if he's not paying attention to us.
I hope so.
But like, people with body dysmorphia, we don't just cut their arms off. And I reckon that gender dysphoria is either a subset of or very closely related to body dysmorphia. And the treatment should not be surgery for a mental condition. Like, have we considered treating them medically and with therapy? Oh no, that's transphobic.
Can do that.
How about we move to something less terrifying in just general retarded wokery? How about the Navy just trying its members to create a safe space by using proper gender pronouns? Here's the new instructional video, which is modeled after a children's show.
Yes, for Navy officers.
My name is Johnny, and I use he, him pronouns.
Hi, and I'm Kanchi, and I use she, her pronouns.
And we're here to talk about pronouns.
Why? You're in the fucking Navy now, bitch.
Why does it look like a 90s kids show?
Because that's intentional, because they're uneducated, brain-dead idiots who never develop mentally above 3.
I don't know if you guys have ever heard of Angry Cops. It's another channel I follow. He did a great video on this. Just absolutely tearing them to pieces. How did the line go? Your pronouns when you join the Navy should be nothing more than shitbag and you.
Yeah, I thought that in the military, you're like in the army, your pronoun is soldier. In the Marines, your pronoun is marine. Your skin color is green, and you bleed green. Whose navy is this? What was formerly known as the United States of America. I imagined that the Chinese government seeing that are laughing their asses off, falling out of their fucking chairs, going, "Oh fuck, we don't need to go to war. Give it 10 years, and these cunts will destroy themselves."
41% of them, anyway.
Yeah.
I'm sorry, did I say that out loud?
Yes, it was glorious.
Yeah, this is. Yeah. On top of it all, the guy is wearing the segregated pride colors on his jumper or his sweater.
Of course he is.
That always baffles me. It's like, why have you separated the black and brown out?
Oh, and she has the trans colors on her shirt.
Yep. What does her shirt actually say? Something UMA? Human? Oh, it's got to be human because she's a dumb cunt.
Oh, dear God. See if
Is she? Have we had her tested?
I think we should have her tested.
I think that's a bold claim for her to make, you know?
There was something I was supposed to go back and check on the Lotus Eaters from this week, but they were talking about the pride flag, and I think it was like Sesame Street or something. I was hardly paying attention at the time, that's why I had to go back and check it. But apparently, according to Sesame Street, the black and the brown stripes are supposed to represent AIDS. Or people who died from AIDS.
Since when?
Yeah, because it came from monkeys. Black and brown. It came from monkeys.
Oh dear.
Monkey, not again.
God damn it, monkey.
That's a hate crime against your own people there, monkey.
I know, I'm offended.
Oh dear.
Don't compare us to black and brown people.
Yeah. How about from today.com via Yahoo News? I want my son to reject masculine stereotypes. Why? Then he fell in love with contractors. Well, guess what? That's because he's a man. After turning 2 years old, my son, Avishai, well done, you idiot, started demanding that he only wear tractor shirts, and my mind spiraled into darkness because I'm a mentally ill idiot. I catastrophized worst-case scenarios, imagining him in a world where he was a man. I envisioned him on a football field, barreling through mega muscled opponents. Imagined him waxing a sports car on a warm summer day. Yeah, having fun. God forbid he have fun.
I found that t-shirt. I just threw it into the live shows.
Yeah, here we go. Here's that stupid fucking t-shirt. Yeah, human. Citation needed. I demand genetic testing.
Forget genetic. Just give her a biology test.
Is she a biologist? Yeah. So here we have the whitest guy I've ever seen. Like, you fuckers must have seen Weird Al's White and Nerdy. Yeah, this guy looks more pathetic than that. And of course he's got an African wife. And they've... So blah, blah, blah.
More of a nose that guy's got.
Yeah. Just waffle, waffle, waffle. How dare he be a boy? So he likes to believe he's a special guy because he's a stay-at-home dad who breaks through gender boxes. Yeah, that's the fucking problem. You want to be special. But it turns out there's nothing special about being a pasty white loser.
Special.
Yeah.
By the way, if I get too close to the line for YouTube, let me know.
Just don't start yelling N-words like Trim, and it'll probably be fine.
Oh no, I won't do that.
So, blah, 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 blah. He had difficulty understanding his son's interest in tractors because he's a pathetic little fairy. And at first he tried hard to nudge the kid towards different videos and clothing, but then he remembered how hard it was as his father to trust him to follow his passions, and the way we connected after he finally did. He took on being an at-home father because he wanted to bond with his son, and realized that meant he needed to let him discover his own interests. He had to define his own identity, not be influenced by my own bias of what I deemed to be too masculine. I started taking joy in his joy. He went into the 8s wearing his shirts emblazoned with diggers and dozers and excavators. At 3.5 years old, he could name dozens of types of tractors. I always thought there was only one. He makes up quasi-gibberish tractor stories, sings quasi-gibberish tractor songs. Together we clean the living room. He uses his tractors to put all his toys away. Sometimes my dad comes over and we drive tiny plastic machinery from room to room. My son beams, my dad beams, I beam too. Congratulations, you've discovered a almost healthy masculine relationship. So close. So fucking close.
Yeah, missed it by that much.
Yep.
Well, there is, I mean, embedded in the story is a very rare admission, and that is you are trying to control your son or daughter's sexual leanings or whatever.
Yeah, their gender. He was specifically trying. Yeah, he admits that he was. Yeah, he admits that he was trying to control his son's gender expression. But it's so close, so close to making a coherent point. So fucking
Well,
close.
it's not a coherent point. It's a mission, surely.
Yeah, problem is, it's like self-werewolves. Almost there.
Mm-hmm. This is definitely all the parents pushing it upon children, not the other way around.
Oh yeah, and they're like, "Oh, he made this." No.
No, your child is under the age of 10 from the looks of him.
That's a child.
Shouldn't be making his own decisions.
That doesn't understand the long-term effects of this.
Yes.
Yeah. But your complaint is that you were unsuccessful in brainwashing your child into what you wanted their expression to be.
Yes.
Yes.
But then he seems to be almost having an awakening where he realizes, oh, letting him be what he wants to be is good for him and we're all happy. So fucking close.
So on the upside, that young boy will one day grow up to be a tradesman and do way better than his father did, most likely.
Oh god, we do. Being a tradesman is probably the best thing you can do.
Operators.
True. We could you. Yeah, fuck it. Buy him a fucking Bobcat operator ticket for his fucking 17th birthday. He'll love you for it.
Yeah. You can actually drive a forklift when you're 16, at least here in Canada.
Yeah, like fuck. If he's still interested in that shit at that age, like here you go. Here's the keys to success for the rest of your fucking life.
I will give him props for finally giving in and actually accepting that his kid had this passion and that he should be allowed to chase it. But more than that, I give him even bigger props for actually getting involved with it. Because him sitting in that piece of equipment there, which I think is a Bobcat, yeah?
Yeah, that's definitely a Bobcat.
Yeah. Him sitting there is going to increase his own testosterone count.
Yeah. Like, I'd like to see some research on it, and this ties back into this trans crap. Like, have we considered giving trans women testosterone instead of estrogen?
Exactly.
Like, this guy could use some testosterone, and he still thinks he's a man.
Yeah, not with those pants on. In public.
Yeah, that looks like a boy from the 80s.
Yeah, that's somebody who watched too many Fresh Prince reruns right there.
Yeah, that's someone who plays MC Hammer on repeat. No. Can't touch this. Oh, Jesus.
To be fair, that was a really good song at the time.
It's catchy, but I wouldn't call it good. But it's definitely catchy.
Okay, yeah, catchy.
Okay, so the next one, I don't give two shits about the article. I just want to read the headline to you all. The intersectional privilege of white able-bodied heterosexual men in STEM. Oh, dear. So, they say a foundational assumption of STEM inequality research is that members of the most well-represented demographic group, white, able-bodied, heterosexual men, WAM, are uniquely privileged in STEM. But is this really the case? Using survey data of US STEM professionals, this study examines whether WAM experience better treatment and rewards in STEM compared with members of all 31 other intersectional gender, race, sexual identity, and disability status categories. Indicating systematic advantages accompanying WAM status, WAM experience more social inclusion, professional respect, and career opportunities, and have higher salaries and persistent intentions than STEM professionals and 31 intersectional groups. Have you tried being competent instead of just being intersectional? No, because...
Oh god,
but competence
I'm
is...
so happy that now I can be a WAM instead of a cis.
You identify as a WAM.
Yeah, I'm definitely a WAM.
A WAM.
Oh god, we need to figure out how to add an EN to the end of that, so you can be a WAMan.
What even is that?
Oh dear. European native something. Oh dear. But why white people have an advantage, despite the fact that if you're white in STEM, your chances of getting promoted are fuck all if there's a single black person or woman, or God forbid a black woman, anywhere within 100 kilometers.
Especially if they happen to be a gay black woman.
A gay, trans, black, Islamic woman of color. And don't forget, they've got to be disabled.
Yes, I was about to say.
Yeah. Oh dear. So, that brings us to the end of the light-hearted fun stuff.
Oh joy!
Yay.
I know what's coming now.
You know what's coming now?
I know what's coming.
You're all right. The Sultans of Shadilay presents Nonce Watch.
Get in the chipper, bitch!
Sadly, Trim didn't join halfway through that this time. Oh dear. So, Cartoon Network.
Somewhere, wherever he is, Trim's ears just perked up and went, wait, someone has called me.
Yeah. Yep. So, Cartoon Network says, at the creek, you are free to be who you are. Gay, tree, trans. At Glam Doodle. Hashtag Craig of the Creek. Hashtag Don't Sleep on the Creek. Hashtag Pride. Hashtag Pride 2022. Hashtag LGBTQ. Then kids in a pride wagon. And I want to hurt them all.
Yeah, there's a lot that I have. Hang on a second. Looking at the bottom flag on the back end of that tractor. Yeah, right there.
Is that
one?
Is that a pedo flag?
Oh, don't be the map flag.
It's something.
Oh god, it's not, is it? No, allegedly not. What's the one with the pie symbol on it, for fuck's sake?
Pie? Sorry, somebody said pie. Fat guy radar tipped off. Oh, that's the asexual flag.
Uh-huh. Oh, for God's sake. But no, it's totally natural that the number of trans kids has skyrocketed over the last 20 years.
The one with the Greek pie symbol?
Yeah.
Polyamory.
Polyamory! Oh, thanks! Just what we want to expose our kids to, you fucking perverts.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, lovely. Surprised they don't have the BDSM pride flag on there.
They don't?
Oh, no. One of my friends actually bought me one of those once because he knew I was into flags and thought it was a nice design, and it is, but not really something I want to represent.
I wonder if anyone has identified what they are. Pan,
One at the top,
apparently.
I think. One at the top looks like the lesbian flag.
Yeah. Yeah, the one at the top might be, but the stupid round one is pansexuals.
Oh, great. Your cooking utensils. That dog of judgment, man, do I feel him.
And this Corey fellow has, like, made me tear up. It's like, really? What is wrong with you people?
Made me tear up. Oh my god, what is wrong with these people? Yeah, there you go. Like Picard says, just be gay and shut the fuck up.
Yep, that'd be fucking nice. Here we go. God, I love Stone Toss. Free candy. For fuck's sake.
Yeah.
Oh, God. Okay, hold on. Pride flags. Oh, good.
You see why IB1 asks, does anyone see the old black and orange super straight flag? Oh, that's comical. Yeah, that's not going to happen.
Here we go. Look, all the pride flags, thanks to University of Northern Colorado. I fucking hate you.
Yeah, their animal mascot being the golden bear.
Yep. So let me scroll back up and we'll identify some flags. And then we'll play Pin the Map on the wall.
Maps do belong on walls.
Yes. So let's see. So they're wearing a cape that's the regular flag, whatever the fuck this one is with purple and black at the bottom.
Let me see here. I had that one up just a second ago.
So I've put it on a second screen so I can look at it. Okay, oh yeah, that's the one on the bottom right of the cart is, yep, the asexual pride flag. Then, so the one, oh yep, here we go. The non-binary pride flag is that one on with the flag being held by whatever the fuck it is on its head. Oh yep, pansexual pride flag is that stupid one. Oh, progress pride flag.
Yeah, and there's a
Transgender
different
pride flag.
polyamorous flag right there.
Yep, that's polyamorous pride flag. And
so is the one with the pi symbol.
Yeah, and then the fingers are
Butch lesbian pride.
Yeah, and I think the one with given the peace sign is the bisexual pride flag. But why polyamory? Why like all the other shit degeneracy is bad enough, but why polyamory?
Because the Nazis have to share.
Yeah, that does seem to be the case. So I found an interesting Twitter account. The gays are fucking sick of their shit. The gays are against the groomers.
I'll take based gays all day, thanks.
Yep, like here's an example where they're pointing out a tweet by someone else where they're like seriously sick of gender identity and queer theory being associated with homosexuality.
Yeah, when the whole LGB was becoming the LGBT, there were a lot of people who were actually saying, look, this gender identity thing does not belong in a sexuality context.
Yeah.
Because they should be treated as separate issues.
Yeah, like, here's one, something they've retweeted. Gay equals a sexuality, LGBTQ plus community equals a religion. And
Not wrong.
Well, it's more of a cult, but yes.
Well, every religion starts somewhere.
Yeah, how about some more degeneracy? Here are two women who now identify as male, but previously identified as lesbian, on testosterone, grooming their daughters, likely fathered by donor, to believe they're lesbians. Their signs read, proud future lesbian.
Yes, those children look extremely enthused to be there.
Yeah.
Because Eddie's handed them signs.
Mm-hmm. The shot on the one on the right says, keep calm and trans march on. Their sign says, proud former lesbian. The one on the left has a sign that says, we heart dykes. I bet you do, you fucking perverts.
Again, another admission that is the adults pushing this on the kids.
Oh, we've known that the whole fucking time.
Yeah.
Children don't have a sexuality, let alone any idea of what they think they will be in the future.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Anyway, I'm taking a break. You guys go ahead.
Go embrace some tradition, monkey.
Oh dear. Well, so why expose so many kids to dragon schools? To stimulate their queer imagination.
That's an interesting way to say indoctrinate.
Yep.
Yep.
So it's a research article, Drag Pedagogy, the playful practice of queer imagination in early childhood. No, shut up, get away from the children, you pedophiles.
That doesn't sound exploitative at all.
Speaking of, breaking, a Pennsylvania drag queen was just arrested and charged with possession of child pornography. Surprising absolutely fucking nobody.
Yep.
Meanwhile, William Leather, the transsexual topless dancer who twerked in front of children at the Washington, D.C. Pride Parade last weekend, had previously been arrested multiple times for indecent exposure in several jurisdictions. Really? The pervert's gone a pervert.
You're funny, that.
Meanwhile, Pennsylvania drag queen who performed for children charged with 25 counts of child pornography.
Yeah. Isn't that the same person from not the last one, but the one right before?
Looks a bit like.
One, yeah.
It does look a bit like. Oh yeah, Bryce
Williams.
Williams.
Yeah, I think it is the same one.
Yeah, it is the same one. So yeah, they performed for children, and then they were found charged with 25 counts of child pornography. Really?
Are we starting to see a pattern? We need to get fucking CSI on this shit.
Oh, for fuck's sake. And they're not even, like, these pedophiles aren't even good at hiding that they're pedophiles. The National Center for Missing and Exploited Children submitted a tip to the Pennsylvania Office of Attorney General's Child Predators Section in May 18, 2020, reporting that 76 files containing child pornography were uploaded to a Dropbox file. The Dropbox account was linked to a person named Anastasia Diamond, William's stage name. Well done, you idiot! Oh, dear.
No. Don't shame them for being stupid. Applaud them for being stupid.
Yep. I mean, how about the astonishing moment a little girl saw in an adult's knee tips drag queen bearing huge synthetic breasts during family-friendly drag event at Michigan gay venue? Who wants to see the synthetic breasts? I don't, but you have to, because I've already done so. Oh, excellent. We have video.
And I can't protect. What? No.
Yep, there you go. Exposing their fucking pervert fucking synthetic breasts to a little girl. And grandma's covering the poor kid's eyes.
Good. I wasn't watching particularly closely, but when you say synthetic breasts, are we talking about implants or some sort of garment?
Garment.
Looks like garment, yeah, okay.
But they're totally not a pedophile.
I really want to grab that last image and just caption it. Ronald McDonald has really changed since I was a kid.
Meanwhile, Alden Bunag, you're fucking acting like we want to show kids porn or something, but something I've learned through the years is that whenever right-wingers accuse others of something, it's definitely because they're projecting. So they're a socialist high school teacher fighting for a better society for their students to graduate into. Artist, dancer, singer, photographer, writer, creative educator. Oh, they're a photographer, all right. Because they've been arrested for having sex with a 13-year-old student and then recording it.
Wow.
Oh, and then sharing it.
Oh, yeah. Wonderful. Hello, Crow.
Hello. Hello.
Come to join the suffering, have we?
I think he just wants to scream at us in person rather than sing in chat.
To be fair, when it comes to child abuse like this, yes, I'm very vehemently against it.
Oh, wow, what a brave right-wing position.
Yes, what a bold statement to make.
What a bold neo-Nazi position to be against teachers raping 13-year-olds and filming it, and then sharing the video on the internet. How right-wing of you?
And he's in
I
Hawaii.
didn't realize how
Hawaii
toxic I
is
was
like
being.
paradise. Why would you screw that up for yourself?
Because he's a leftist.
Well, fair point. Yeah, I saw this story when Andy No broke it.
Yep. Like, here he is. He's like, you've yet... someone, in previous conversations, someone's like, okay, Grimmer, keep telling yourself that. And he's like, you've yet to demonstrate why teaching kids basic sex and discussing gender/sexuality with them is grooming. Well, I've repeatedly explained why. Don't tell me to fucking Google anything. This is also why no one should take you guys seriously. You can never back shit up. Well, we're calling it grooming because you raped a 13-year-old, you fucking pedo.
I mean, this is the best cell phone I've seen in a while, to be fair.
Yep.
Yeah, all the signs were there, as they say.
Yeah, federal prosecutors claimed that this douchebag sent illicit pictures and video to another teacher on the mainland and admitted to sex with a 13-year-old male student. Oh, excellent, so he's a gay pedophile. Could you stop making people want to hurt the gays?
I'm wondering how long it's going to take for that picture to be turned into a soy jack.
Hold on, scroll.
We should get trim on that. We should get trim on that.
Any soy jacks in the comments?
First, yeah, I like that.
Oh, dearing me. Yes, this is why we call it grooming, because you raped a 13-year-old. Yeah, here's Defiant L's on Twitter. Yeah, whoops. Distributing child pornography. Yep, Christina Pushaw. It's like, but we can't call it grooming.
It's not grooming. It's just rape.
Child rape.
Yeah.
Vosh
says that's the best kind.
Oh. I'm pretty sure that's the face that Vosh is going to see when he gets to heaven. Jesus looking at him very, very unhappily. And then turning around and telling him, come here, feet first.
Forgiveness stops.
I had that as my Facebook profile picture for quite a while.
Yeah.
Anybody else hearing phantom birds?
Or how about the esteemed transgender advocate? If it would like to load, but it doesn't want to apparently. Our child rapist is an esteemed transgender advocate who fought for mixed sex dress rooms. This is an old one from 2018, but
There's a bad choice.
Whoops. But it's totally not about raping children.
Clearly.
Oh God, what did I come back to?
In 1998.
Yeah.
What you came back to was degeneracy.
It's always degeneracy.
I'm going to take another break.
We need to go back to beating people in public.
We'll get some food, and then I haven't finished preparing for our stream afterwards, so I better do that.
Yeah.
So, bye.
Bye.
Later.
Coward. Oh,
Changing into base chicken.
Here we go. This guy changed his name on his server.
I can't change on his server.
Oh, Jane. Here's another tweet from this douchebag. Trying to tear down gender roles and subtly instill socialist values into my high school and elementary kids. Is socialist values what he calls his dick?
No, he's probably not subtle about that. Considering he films it.
What an idiot. Fortunately, the pedophiles are idiots. Here's. Well, I think we've seen this one previously, where the guys are calling out the training in the school, and I thought we'd wash our minds with this one because it's better.
Yes, please.
So who brought the tranny? who brought the pedophile? Hold on. No, thank you. Who brought the pedophile? We want to know. We want to know. Well, we're medically exempt. Thank you, though. Who brought the pedophile? I just want to know. It's for, well, then why is the pedophile here? Why did you, no. We want to know why there's a pedophile here.
We saw videos of what that thing does.
Yeah. Why did you, hey,
It's got
you
videos
see a
of
lot of
talking about what it
pedophiles
wants
in
to
here.
do to little children.
Yeah. Why did you allow
It has videos
pedophiles?
on YouTube of what it wants to do to little children.
Why did you bring the pedophile?
I don't understand. I don't understand.
Yeah, then why would you bring your children to a pedophile?
We're not
Yeah,
swearing.
yeah.
It's not vulgar
Hey,
language.
you should be ashamed of yourself. You should be ashamed of yourself.
Why would you want to bring children to this? Why would you want to expose your children to this? Just to prove how tolerant you are of pedophiles?
This is the only thing
To prove how tolerant?
children to.
So you want to expose your children to pedophiles to prove how tolerant you are.
This is disgusting.
It's sick.
Yeah, but
It's
we
sick.
have the- This is sick.
That thing has videos.
We have a
talking
right,
about
we're
what it-
reserved,
I mean,
we have
I'll
seats
show you
reserved.
away from the children because I
We have rights reserved. Look, we got a pedophile here. We're in Giants. Oh man, I'll never support the Giants again. This is
I
sick.
have videos talking about
You guys are
things it wants to do to
sick. Look,
children.
they brought kids here. What is wrong with you people? What is wrong with you? What is wrong with you? Tell me, what is wrong with you? What is wrong with you? This is sick. This is sick.
Why are you?
You guys should be disgusted. Call them. There's a pedophile here with children. Call them. This is disgusting. What the hell is wrong with you people? These poor children.
They
What
threatened
is
to call
wrong
the
with
cops
you?
on him, and he said, "Yeah, do it."
Get out of here,
Yep.
you pedophile. Get out of here.
And the
You do not
moment
see
she
here.
left to call the
Get out of
cops, that one got up and took off.
It's disgusting. Look,
Yep.
no, this is sick. You are sick. You are sick. Look at these poor children.
It's all based on sexual.
These poor children. These poor children. How dare you guys? You godless whores. You guys are sick.
It's not okay.
You're not starting it again. This is over. This is over. It's over forever.
That's such a
No
great
more,
line.
no more sick pedophiles here. No, you are sick.
Good boys.
Good men calling out that degeneracy where they see it.
Yeah. But they're like, we'll call the police. Well, that's all right. They can investigate why there's a pedo hanging around with kids. Pedo leaves.
Yeah. Yeah, pedo immediately goes, "What? Cops coming? Bounce."
Yep.
I'm sure there's no reason for that. I mean, they've probably got no prior conviction or anything.
No, they're just a known pedophile, I'm sure.
Mm.
Meanwhile, how about a parent in Barrington 220 revealed in a meeting this week that a child's 6th grade teacher signed the pornographic book Genderqueer as summer reading for 11-year-olds. Let's watch.
Hopefully everybody can see this, yeah? 11, 12 years old. Hopefully you like this, yeah? You guys over there, because you guys make the decisions over there. Okay, 11-year-old. Alright? Now, from this book, brother talking to sister. So you never tasted yourself? Sister shows brother. Vagina slime. Then there's words blowjob, gay shit. This is exactly what I would expect a pedophile to behave when approaching a child. Normalize sexual behavior. And this is how I see you.
Time for a cuppa.
Yep. And of course, here are some images from the book. For years, my standard method of masturbation was stuffing a sock into the front of my pants and manipulating the bulge. This would involve into hip thrusting while thinking my latest gay ship. Memorably, I got off once while driving by just rubbing the front of my jeans and imagining getting a blowjob. You fucking disgusting monsters. This is the visual I'd been picturing.
I just don't know how anyone thought this was something they should sign off for kids.
Because they're a bunch of fucking pedophiles. But you would have thought the
pedophiles... they just didn't read it?
Probably not.
Do you think they just saw the title and be like, oh yeah, that sounds good, whatever.
Yeah.
I'm not going to do my job properly. I'm not going to protect children. I'm just going to, get all these fucking bonus points for being one of these people who introduced genderqueer. Little did they know.
Yep. The district confirmed the book is on the reading list. However, they claim it's only for teens. It shouldn't be for them either, you bunch of pedophiles.
If it's only meant to be for
showing
teens...
teens porn is not better.
Stop noncing kids of any age.
Yeah. Like, oh, it's not real pedophilia because they're teenagers. Fuck off.
Isn't that something that's starting to come out now, too? That there's this stratification based on
That's
development
been
levels?
a while.
Yeah.
I can't remember what they call it.
2 lines at the wood chipper?
I mean, hopefully. Oh, that was it. Hebephilia, that's the name.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
But that's still not a good thing. Like, it's less degenerate, but it's still yeah, but it's still chipper fuel.
Yeah, absolutely. What I really don't like is that you see how this kind of is influencing younger children, and I see younger and younger children trying to dress more and more maturely.
Yeah.
And it's just disgusting. It's like, no, be a fucking child.
Yeah. Ride a bike, play with dolls, hula hoop.
Yeah,
I tell you,
it's
fucking what, if I have a
ludicrous.
daughter, there is no way I'm going to let her fucking dress like a slut up until the fact that she's fucking 18. I'm like, no, now you're an adult, you can do what you fucking want, but not in my household.
Absolutely.
Seems fair.
Well, it's a matter of self-respect more than anything.
Well, it's not only that, but by you instilling that discipline in her, she understands then that her future children have to have that same discipline to come out healthy.
Yeah. I mean, I actually really appreciated the Lotus Eaters podcast where they talked about what women can do to actually get a relationship, because so many women get the idea that they can have anything by sexualizing themselves.
Yeah,
and
and
so unhealthy.
they've been taught
very
that
unhealthy.
from all the media they've been exposed to.
Yeah.
And to be fair, I mean, I grew up reading comic books in the 90s, and the comic books in the 90s were extremely sexualizing in some ways. But one of the key messages was a gorgeous woman gets what she wants.
Yep.
And that wasn't being aimed at girls. That was being aimed at the boys.
Yep. And if you teach men to have a bit more self-respect and not just do anything a pretty woman wants, that would also be beneficial.
Yeah. Yeah, you have to instill standards in the boys.
Yeah. Indeed. Ah, dear.
Yeah.
The black pills are settling.
Suddenly
Right.
all those tabs are starting to look like a bad idea, aren't they, Ben?
I know, I had to suffer through this for the week. Now it's time to share. Right, so let's
Now
move
you do too.
Let's move away from the leftists raping children and grooming them in to what should we call them? Envirotards destroying everything. So, from the 14th of June, Hurricane Sandy hits multiple states as the, whatever it is, Australian energy market operator makes a move to cover shortfalls. So they warned of possible power interruptions in 5 states. Market notices published on their website warned of maximum power load interruptions in Queensland, New South Wales, Victoria, South Australia and Tasmania. Funny that. Meanwhile, the doubt has been cast over whether the new Prime Minister, Anthony Sleazy, because he's a bastard, and his ability to deliver a key election promise to cut hundreds of dollars from household power bills. It's almost as if he was lying to get elected.
And we're back to the topic of politicians just
Being
lying.
idiots, yeah. And we should hang them. If they lie while in office, we should hang them. If they own election
Or to
promises,
get into
hang them.
office.
Yeah. Courier Mail says, if you voted at the federal election to phase out coal and gas, it's only fair that you go without power and gas before anyone else. Vote green or teal, it's only right you lose power and gas first. With the Australia's energy crisis threatening to turn the lights out on one of the world's most affluent nations, yeah, maybe it should be the people who fucking voted for it. Meanwhile, the energy regulator has suspended new wind and solar projects as it battles to deal with the market crisis. Whoops. Fucking idiots.
Yeah, funny how when you try to get away from petroleum products and then you discover, oh crap, all the stuff we want for green energy requires petroleum products.
Yeah. Well, how about, and yep, and of course, new capacity mechanism could pay coal and gas generators for a reliable electricity supply. Really, cunts?
Wait, whoa, hang on. Wouldn't reliability be kind of hard baked into your contract in the first place?
Apparently not. Apparently, they're currently only paid for the electricity they produce. And now they will be paid for a reliable power supply. And note that that's coal and gas generators. Funny that.
So how are they going to work out how much money you receive versus how reliable you are?
Well, that depends on how many politicians are on your board of directors.
Like, oh yes, this place is up 99% of the time, so we'll give them the majority of the funds. Or, I know, I've got a nice paycheck coming in from this company, so, yeah.
Yeah, my brother, who totally doesn't have any influence on my decisions, happens to be on their board. So we'll give them money.
My brother lent me some money. It was only his personal money, nothing to do with this.
Yeah, exactly. Oh yeah, and how were those wind turbines going? Well, wind turbines bound for landfill because of hefty recycling expenses.
Yeah.
Well
Yeah,
done,
the recycling is
dipshits.
Impossible.
I just want us to have more nuclear fucking power plants and just get on with it.
Yeah.
It would make more sense, yeah.
Yeah.
And I want to see them actually finally get on with a hydrogen fuel cell car.
But
It's
that
just
would
such
actually
simple
be
stuff.
that would actually work. We can't have anything
I
that
know,
works.
It just drives me nuts.
Yep. So researchers from the University of South
George saying hi to Discordia, or she fell out of her chair.
No, I just moved my microphone.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Either that or it was your cat deciding to jump on it.
I mean, I literally just told you what happened.
Yeah. It's a good microphone, clearly. Because we can hear everything. Yeah. So the
I
research
just repositioned it.
Yeah, researchers are urging renewable energy companies in the state to come up with an end-of-life plan for their aging wind turbines. A study led by Professor Doesn't Matter indicated that tens of thousands of old turbines could end up in landfill by the end of the decade. Worldwide, there could be more than 40 million tons of blade waste in landfills by 2050. Well done, you fucking idiots. Absolute fucking bellends. Also, I thought that it was green and renewable and it was totally fine. What do you mean you have to replace the blades every 10 to 20 years?
There's actually a sort of solution / reuse for these. These things are gigantic fiberglass panels. Why not tear them down, cut them down, and use them for building materials to house these people who are homeless, who apparently the state is failing by not giving them free housing.
But that would solve a problem. When we can't solve
Yes,
problems.
and heaven forbid the government ever do their job.
Well, according to Google, a nuclear power plant lasts on between 20 and 40 years.
Yes, and interestingly, they can be refurbished.
Energy companies in Denmark have turned their old turbines into bus shelters and playgrounds.
Yeah, well, at least that's something.
Yeah, at least something's being done with them.
It's ridiculous. What
And
next?
Do you remember that whole solar roadways plan? Like all these solar panels that like produce so much waste, and they wanted to replace every fucking road in America with them.
Well, that's it. They're like, oh, mining causes pollution. Where does lithium and cobalt and fucking silicon come from, you fucking dipshits?
That's slavery, I'm sure.
Yeah. Totally not
This
slavery.
is where they want a meteorite that's filled with the stuff.
Yeah.
This is what Elon's main goal, isn't it? He's going to go into space and find a big lump of cobalt and lithium.
Well, to be fair, if we could fuck off the pollution to, I don't know, the center of the sun, that would be helpful. Like, I've got an idea. If we strap the nuclear waste and the politicians to a rocket and shoot it into the sun.
And the pedophiles.
What's the difference? Oh, right, not all pedophiles are politicians. Meanwhile, high royalties for Queensland mines sparks fear for regional job loss. Inconceivable new royalty tiers have been introduced in Queensland to capitalise on booming coal prices. That's right. Oh, you're making more money because the coal prices are going up? Well, we'll tax you more. But we're not making more profit. The prices have gone up, so we need to charge more. Shut up and give us your money.
Hey guys, I've got to take a quick break. I've got to run my nephew home. I won't be very long.
All right.
Okay.
So, they say a multinational mining company with major assets in central Queensland will lose 60% of its profits through a plan to siphon an extra $1.2 billion in mining royalties over the next 4 years. Like, well fucking done. Ah, dear. So fucking stupid and pointless. And of course, so remember how we didn't have enough power? Well, electricity vehicles could significantly increase demand on the power grid. Trials are underway to change energy use behaviour. Electric cars could increase demand on the power grid during the evening peak by at least 30% unless households adopt smart charging. What the fuck do you mean smart charging?
It's almost as if consolidating your use of electrical sort of things from coal all to one format kind of causes a problem.
Yep. Yeah, with the threat of blackouts to reality amid high prices and demand, Origin's general manager of e-mobility, someone who doesn't matter, said the network would struggle once EVs become more popular. At the moment, our electricity grid is not coping at all. If we were to add another 30% of peak load to the grid during those periods of high prices and constraints on the network, this would require significant investment to increase capacity. So, but they want to introduce smart chargers so that charge at better times, because apparently 30% of charging is done in the evening peak between 3 p.m. and 9 p.m. Yeah, no shit, you bellends. People put their car on charge when they get home because otherwise they won't make it to work the next day. Like, come on, guys.
Again, like I said, hydrogen fuel cell solves a lot of this
Yep.
problem.
But
you literally have a direct shoe-in for petrol or diesel, and you don't necessarily need a massive lithium battery on a hydrogen fuel cell car because it has a fuel tank.
Yeah. But so the smart chargers that cost between $2,000 and $3,000 were installed in the homes of 150 electric vehicle users, and baseline data was captured. Right, so on top of your $80,000 electric car, you need to put another $2,000 or $3,000 for your smart charger. Yeah, thanks, fat cunts.
Is that for the charger itself?
$2,000 to $3,000 for the charger itself, yes.
That's not even the installation cost for getting a builder to come and fit it properly then?
Correct.
Not to mention an electrician.
Yep. Like, for fuck's sake, guys.
I mean, I really like the idea of getting myself an electric motorcycle, mostly because they look like they're quite fun. But to like have the facility to charge, so many people are just not going to have that. It's just not viable yet. There's not enough infrastructure.
Well, especially not with the fucking way price of electricity has been going. Like, fuck's sake. Yeah. Like, these idiots are like, oh, you'll save money by transferring to electricity. No, fuckhead, do you know how expensive electricity is? And then, of course, you'll have your distance-based taxed on your electric vehicle.
Yep.
Right.
Yep.
Watch them bring that in as a double tax for non-electric vehicles.
Exactly.
So get taxed on petrol and then on distance.
Of course, why not? Alright, so that is the end of the prepared articles I had today. So, what do we got? We have a meme from Mythos. From the Babylon Bee, Dems pause January 6th hearings to call for insurrection.
Sounds about right.
Yeah. Alright, so that's the end of the pre-planned videos for the main segment of Sultans. Which brings us to the things that we're not allowed to talk about on the YouTubes.
Does this mean we're migrating?
Yes, this means we are migrating, and hopefully when I shut off the stream to YouTube, it doesn't immediately die. Oh, is the audio messed up?
Does this mean we're migrating?
Yes, this means we are
me again.
migrating, and hopefully when I shut off the stream to YouTube, it doesn't immediately die. Oh, is the audio messed up? Yeah, there's audio being a bit weird. That's pointing.
Seems to be only disco.
Yeah, it seems to be only disco. Crow's is a bit low. Let me turn Crow up. I can't.
Oh, sorry, I'm a bit far from my mic.
I already had Crow at 200%. For everyone,
Yeah,
but
this
there's
is Discord.
Yeah, hold on. Let me.
Discord
let me
will,
turn Crow
for some reason, make me incredibly quiet, no matter what settings I change.
You're not quiet.
I
I'm
already
gonna
had
turn
Crow at
you
200%.
Well, I actually boosted it by 15 decibels, and it seems to have helped.
Discord
will, for some reason, make me incredibly quiet, no matter what. Then again, it could just be that Bezik's shouting. Who knows?
Oh my god, I'm hearing. I think I'm hearing us again through Bezik's stream.
And it seems to have helped.
Yeah, shit, you
saying
might
that
be. I thought I had that off. Sorry, everyone.
Where's the
I was just
stream?
Yeah, hold on. I'm just trying to sort the audio out.
Oh, sure.
Sorry, everyone, about the feedback. I forgot that I hadn't muted that.
That's fair, I think.
Yeah, Gregory seems to think it's fine now.
Yeah. It might have just been a bit of weirdness in OBS. Well, okay, so the plan now is that we will transition to the Odyssey stream. I will post...
Will be trans.
No. Okay. Wait, I will post the link in the chat and in live shows, and I will attempt to end the stream on YouTube without ending it on Odyssey.
Should just be able to do it through the YouTube backend.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking of doing.
Are you using Restream?
No. I'm being a cheap ass and using a multiple output plugin for OBS.
Oh, that's a cool idea. I hadn't thought of that.
Which seems to be working fine. So, everyone,
Yeah,
we
no.
will be transferring over there to talk about the things that Susan might let us talk about, such as monkey cow flu, Rona, poliopox.
Fun.
Yeah. So I'm going to be ending the stream on the YouTube now. So hopefully we'll see you all there, but if we don't, we'll see you next time.
Bye.
Bye.
Okay, now I have to